All right. Welcome back to Min to Max 20. We are back. I do need to do a couple administrative things before we jump into tonight, but just hold tight with me. I need to swap some things out here because we have a couple of technical difficulties, but that is...
Hi, I'm technical difficulties.
Yeah, it's all good though. We are...
I know you did, you sick bastard.
All right, so real quick, just wanted to highlight the fact that we did not go live last week because we had some scheduling conflicts, which, you know, that is life. So we are actually going to be continuing from where we left off 2 weeks ago. However, I want to say before we get going, Todd, did you say you wanted to? Did you unbox the thing? Are you unboxing it?
Oh, I've been waiting all day for this.
All right, we're gonna let this dude
Oh,
unbox
Lord.
whatever it is that he has stored behind the screens.
Stored sounds suspiciously like sword.
Sword.
Indeed.
Sword and sword. All right.
Stored it and sorted.
If you got another sword, man, or full plate mail, I'm gonna have to go out and buy like a nice shield and mace.
It's a gun.
Well, I was half expecting him, dude. When he didn't show up his thing. Oh, hold on. I'm gonna wait.
Is it going?
Yeah, you're good, bro.
What's going, dude? I don't know.
It's all blurred out. Is it,
Unboxing my screen, dude.
bro? What is that? Bro, that's a big ass box,
What do you got there, bro?
bro.
It's a rock.
I'm assuming you can't fit full plate mail in a tiny box like that.
You can if you take it
Hold
apart.
I would.
Dude, I was expecting you to just like block. Hold on. I was
I hope
expecting
this
full.
is actually what I think. Okay, this. No,
Oh, great.
It's-
It's way
That was
protein.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's just protein.
Puts the box down.
Bro, what is it? Half your camera's blurry. I don't. I knew it! I knew it! Bro, I knew it. I was like, I bet you it's a helmet.
Oh, it's all greasy.
Yeah, dude, it's metal.
Yeah.
Bro, put it on your head. Bro, put it on your head, bro.
Bro, hold on. I gotta.
Don't ungrease it, Todd. You're
It's
washing it away.
slimy, dude.
Bro, put it on your head. Bro,
Oh man.
I'm here for it.
Oh, we got it. All right. Oh man, it's wet.
Bro, I don't give a
Let's
shit
go,
how.
dude.
Oh,
That's sick.
that's awesome.
Alright, Todd has to have that hanging in the corner, and he has to put the visor up if his visor's up. And
Let's go,
down if it's
dude.
Dude,
down.
yeah.
Let's go, dude.
Bro,
Let's go.
Todd, for your commitment
If
to
you don't put
RP,
it on.
Is that OSHA approved? How about
It
one for
is
words?
probably higher grade than like a helmet or like a hard hat.
Oh, most definitely.
hey,
Well,
hold on,
you should
Todd, for committing to the role, bro. Take an inspiration point, bro,
Yo,
for
yo,
the
dude.
helm, bro.
We
That's
get
it.
bond
That's
inspiration, dude.
He's bought inspiration for probably $600.
you can buy it for one easy payment of
$6 grand.
Okay.
a few bucks, a few gold.
few
Let's just say
gold.
118 gold.
That's not bad.
That's pretty solid, though.
That's pretty solid, yeah.
Nah, yeah, I like that. I was half expecting there to be no one in the camera and you're gonna pop out with full plate armor, but I'll tell you, the helmet is just as good.
What?
All right,
Brings in the
boys.
second box.
Hey, that was
Give me
It's Ashley saying that, hey, wait, what do you mean you paid 118 for a helmet?
all right. Let me get the music. He said he'll be right back. Okay, strong.
Oh, wandering.
Yeah, don't lick that, Bubba.
Dude, I'm trying my best.
Let's see. Let me roll my dice and see which one are gonna betray me tonight before we start playing.
Dude, I only brought up one
Howard,
dice
use
with
the
me.
same
I'm
set
stuck
of
with
dice
green.
every single time, even though you have 100 of them.
Dude, I'm like 16 steps ahead, dude.
I do use the same two dice every single time, even though I have like 100 of them.
Dude, I can't even. Gun knife care kit. Is this a sponsored
dude,
stream?
It's got
Is it
the
for
it's got
Is it for the
the
helmet?
polish, bro. It's the polish, dude.
Nice. That is actually.
Oh, okay. I was like, what?
I actually got this, which is gonna help me degrease it.
All right, hey, are we
Oh,
ready
so
to jump?
you
We ready to jump in though?
Alright, you're more
Yeah.
welcome to start.
All right, let's do this thing. If you're gonna decrease your helmet, you can just pretend like that's what you're doing actually in game.
Yeah.
Slime this thing.
Well, if I'm
All
playing
right.
foosball, do I get to pretend like I'm doing that in game?
No.
Man pulls out a football table out of his bag of holding. All right, gentlemen, let's dive back into this into our Through the Frost Trail arc. So last we left off, our group of adventurers kind of spent the last day prior to meeting up with Axoff to depart along the Frost Trail. You guys were kind of going to different stores. You ended up meeting up with one of the hunting store where you met a Goliath individual by the name of Helgren. Who kind of just gave you a little bit of insight as to some of the area and kind of learned a couple different kind of beasts that were out prowling amongst the winter landscape, and just kind of acquired some additional items as you guys were going to be embarking out into the frigid landscape beyond. And then, of course, you guys kind of went back through, kind of hit a couple of different areas, got everything finalized, and then in the last kind of moments of the kind of afternoon, you guys all went to the stables and ended up kind of spending some time with your mounts. At which point, Zahir, using his bag of tricks, or bag of is it bag of tricks? Bag of something.
It's a gray bag of tricks.
Very bag of tricks, as you were then doing target practice with some of your companions, which was for some kind of hilarious. For others, they were a little questioning some morality with those things, but with everything kind of finalized and with all preparations kind of taken care of, you guys all rested one final night in Grimtoll Hold before the following morning, waking up early, just about like an hour or so before sunrise, because you needed to compensate a little bit of time because your first landmark being a cave about 35-ish miles down the path, you guys needed to kind of get up and get after it. So you guys all met up at the stables, kind of last minute checked all your things, mounted up, and just exited out of the actual hold itself. As the doors kind of shut behind you, Axoff kind of lighting up his hooded lantern, the rest of you kind of illuminating various spells, kind of ominously quiet as the snow fell upon the party. As you guys then started to make your way, within the first hour, as sun began to break, you eventually made your way to where the roads intersect, where it continues south, kind of towards some of the southernmost portions of the region, with a town and with a fortress lying beyond, and then obviously to the east, where the Frost Trail began. You all embarked, officially starting this venture. You made pretty decent time when it came to just traversing for the first portion of the journey. Y'all managed to stay warm, and y'all managed to stay alert, which kind of about halfway through the day, you guys noticed that there seemed to be some sort of imprints or something that could indicate to maybe a land vehicle that might have traversed off the path and deeper into the actual landscape. Deeming it better to just ignore this interaction, you guys just pressed forward and continued to make headway into the along the Frost Trail, hoping to get to the cave as fast as possible. Night eventually struck. And a little bit past that point in time, you guys eventually found the landmark that indicated kind of where the cave would be. You guys branched off to the north, and after about 1,000 feet of marching, you guys eventually found your way to the cave opening, where Axoff had led you guys to where you're be taking shelter. However, upon investigation and kind of making sure that your bedding down area for the evening was secure, some kind of guttural voices called out, basically insinuating that the food had come to them. At which point y'all were like, yeah, this is probably not the safest cave. We should probably investigate further. Not backing down, you guys ended up pursuing deeper into the cave, at which point these massive white wolves ambushed out, jumped out, almost knocking Morello down almost immediately. However, with the quick recovery of their teammates, and with everyone kind of piling in, you guys, for the most part, quickly dispatched of these wolves, kind of getting your footing and kind of coming together as a cohesive unit for the first time while on this journey. We ended last session with the last wolf trying to flee outside of the cave, and Morello, you just bashing his skull in with one final mace to the dome as it kind of skirted off and laid to rest onto the stone floor. And that is where we go ahead and pick up tonight's session. So, as you all kind of are breathing heavy, you get the condensation coming from your mouths as your breath kind of quickly turns to steam. as you guys all kind of eventually regain your composure. Do you guys want the Tailspire map up so you guys can see the layout of the cave?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind it.
Okay, let me go ahead.
Yeah, why not?
Let me go ahead and pull that up.
Once we've kind of all finished up and we're all breathing, I'm gonna look around to everyone and be like, is everybody okay? Is anybody injured or?
I think you took the biggest brunt of everything.
I would say I'm definitely bleeding a little bit.
Yeah.
I think I am like gonna go immediately back and get my cloak that I dropped at the beginning and just kind of asked him. I was like, yeah, no, I'm fine, thanks though. As I took no hits.
I'll walk over to Sir Denrick and I will cast a. How hurt are you looking, Sir Denrick?
What was that?
How hurt are you looking?
Well, if you do a
Usually-
perception check.
Ooh, I can do a medicine check. I may not be good at religion, but I am a good doctor.
I may not be good at religion, but I am a good doctor. So.
My favorite cleric, they're not proficient in religion, so.
Well,
you got
too bad. They did get me a little bit, but I would say I'm
I
still
will-
in fighting shape.
I will cast the first level cure wounds on him to heal him up a little.
All right, go ahead and roll that. Also, I'm not going to switch the panels for Zahir and Virden, obviously, again. So just they need to be swapped, but that's relevant.
That's 5.
So 5 points of healing to you.
Yeah.
As Merlo kind of comes over, kind of clutches his holy symbol, kind of with some radiant kind of energy. And what coloring is your divine magic there, Merlo? If you want to describe that.
It's that like the orangish kind of sunburnt red that my cloak is.
Okay.
It's that kind of just like sunset color.
Yeah. Hold on. If y'all want to go ahead and come to the actual, if y'all want to go ahead and come to the table, you can.
And then,
Yeah. If someone would share share their screen for Todd and for Connor.
I won't be able to view it,
Will
unfortunately.
that
But I
mess
do
up
remember the
the
layout.
strings?
Okay. But yeah, so as you guys kind of all, and then at this point, usually here you kind of have to kind of float down from your with your kind of angelic
float down
wings.
and rescind the wings back into my starry form.
wait, this will totally mess it up, won't it, if I start sharing this?
Yeah, did that mess everything up?
Did what mess everything up?
Restarting
the
the
stream.
stream did that.
Oh yeah, everything's messed up.
Yeah, okay. I'll start the stream because you can
Alright,
see
back-
it from
back
your
to
actual
good.
stream instead.
Oh yeah, that's true.
There you go.
That's true. But yeah.
And then you could also shrink me too, because I drop in size at this point.
Okay, sounds good. I mean, I'm not gonna really mess with the minis so much, considering I'm just gonna mainly have like the overview of the actual cave itself at this point, since you guys can kind of see everything. Especially with your daylight spell as kind of where it's projecting and everything. This is kind of, you guys can see for the most part every kind of inch of this cave cavern at this point. But at this point, as you kind of cast Cure Wounds, you kind of come down, kind of fold your wings kind of behind you as they slowly kind of dematerialize over time. Let me go ahead and actually pull up this.
Morello, are you in need of any aid?
I got to myself. I still have a little bit of magic left over myself, but I wouldn't mind the extra little boost of
Yes, in
healing if you have it.
Yes, in case you don't want to expend more of your magic, and I'll use my healing hands and heal you for 8 points.
Sweet. Alright, cool then, yeah. Well, thank you very much. I'm feeling much better. I was a
Yes,
little frightened for my life there.
You were taking some beatings.
Yeah, I kind of looked down, kind of moved my shoulder. I think I got bit in the shoulder, right?
I mean, there's a couple portions where your heavily clad armor didn't hold up so well.
So
Unfortunately.
definitely feeling better. Well, I appreciate it, Morello, and well fought. I think I think all things went well for getting surprised. I did
Yes,
think it was
I
I
was
did.
certainly surprised.
Those certainly were big wolves.
Didn't expect them to talk either.
Yeah, I was gonna say, why didn't anyone we spoke to in town, especially the Goliath at the hunting store, who was apparently attacked by one of these, why didn't they mention that they were gonna give us the heebie-jeebies and talk at us?
And not only
That
that,
is strange.
A very fair
there was a
point.
good amount of them too. There's like at least, I believe, 6 of them that came at us.
Well, let's count the
Perhaps we
bodies.
should investigate their last bit of this cave here. Do a proper sweep, make sure there's no more of them, or I don't know.
Good idea.
Personally, I'm worried that there might be something else in this cave that maybe I could look into. Something maybe
Yes,
I don't
maybe in
know,
their den.
darker going on here.
At this
Yeah,
point, as you guys are kind of having this conversation, all meeting up, Axov at this point does kind of walk over. He like kind of slings his crossbow back over his shoulder. He's like, "Well, I will have to say that I am very, very impressed
I'll be
with the whole lot of you. Yeah, you're good, man. I'm very impressed with all of your fighting capabilities. It seems that I have found some of the most capable individuals, probably in Grimtoll Hold, if not the greater portion of this region." So as he kind of half claps like a couple times, he's, I think that we will all honestly with each other at one another's backs. I think we'll be all right.
Hey, Axoff, do you know ice wolves to speak? Be intelligent in some way, or
I mean, I do not not know that the wolves themselves could actually speak. No, if that is, I mean, I did not know that. I've obviously heard that the wolves themselves they're out here, but I did not know that they actually had the intelligence or the capability to actually communicate, communicate with us via with the common tongue. So that is very interesting as well. I did not expect that, and so I mean I was half expecting that there would be something actually different when the voices rang out. I was a little bit more concerned, but I mean, seeing as
I thought we walked into like a vampire lair or something. Fucking
is,
bonkers. I was almost happy to see the wolves.
Have you
It is
seen
strange
vampires
that,
before?
Huh?
You mentioned vampires, like you had seen them before.
I mean, they're around,
I do not.
Oh well, they're. I mean, when you travel as much as I do, you run into a bunch of folks. But let's not dwell on that. I'm more of I guess worried then, because and correct me if I'm wrong here, Jared. I remember speaking with what was the guy's name? What was the Goliath's name in the hunting store?
Helgren.
Helgren, yes. I remember asking Helgren specifically about ice wolves, and in our conversation, there was nothing mentioned about them being intelligent or being able to speak. So, I think,
go ahead.
So I was gonna say, with if that is accurate, then Veerd is pretty on edge. It definitely wants to spend time investigating the area a bit to make sure there's nothing else going on.
Okay.
I can go set up a campfire at the front and start watching the entrance to the cave while you guys look through the rest of the back half.
Okay.
Yes.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, you certainly did more than your fair share already.
Yeah, I suppose I figure if anything actually comes in the front of the cave, I'll probably be one of the better targets to get eaten alive by it for a little bit.
I think
Yeah,
I'll go
kinda.
ahead and assist you as well there, Morello. No problems. As Axov will follow you to the front.
And I'll start
Kind of looking down. I kind of poke one of the wolves with my sword a little bit. Like, it is strange that yeah, like you were saying, no one has ever reported back that they could speak. You'd think there'd be some sort of old tale or
it seems like a much bigger deal
sort of
than.
scroll.
Yeah, the ice breath. They mentioned that many a times. It seems like I don't know. Maybe they are known to speak and it wasn't brought up. But either way, I want to make sure we're sleeping in something that's not just a bigger trap than these guys were.
Well, you two are versed in magic based on what I've seen here Do you think it could be something arcane?
Oh shoot.
Could it be some sort of
Is
something
there
else that's
is there a
making that?
reasonable check I could roll for that, Jared? Or
Um,
like I said, Arcana or an Insight or something?
Are you talking about? Sorry, go ahead and repeat what you're saying. You're saying that to indicate if those magical means that they were speaking.
Yeah, yeah. I guess that's pretty much
You
it.
could dissect one if you want.
Yeah, go ahead and
Not
go ahead
magic.
and make an Arcana check.
Well, yeah, because I kind of know.
12
like, I'm
on
noticing.
the die, so that is a 18.
18. So as you kind of look down and kind of investigate some of the bodies that lay kind of strewn out on the floor, both the large size and then the and then the kind of the smaller, almost not infant but like child sized various wolves. You look upon their bodies and kind of just get to see if you can get any sense of whether they if there was any arcane means that they were speaking or kind of tapping into or kind of innate built into them. However,
Because
looking
they
across
have,
their
like,
bodies, they don't have anything indicating, at least on the exterior portion of their body, that would discern any reason why there'd be an arcane nature as to why that's helping them out or giving them this.
Okay. I think looking that over, I'll report back to. I'm assuming Zahir and Sir Denrick are right here, so I'll report back to them. It's like I don't see anything here that suggests that this was some type of spell or effect or ritual that lets them speak, but I'm not going to rule out something else either. Really,
It is quite weird.
if I'm going to be honest, I just want to sleep safely tonight. I want to peek in the back of the cave, make sure there's no skull with blood and smoke pouring out of it that screams danger and death. And
It's
at
a
that
good
point,
idea.
I think we're pretty good.
We'll definitely need to leave someone on watch.
Yeah, sure.
And maybe just keep an eye on the entrance of the cave. And we should, I'll go with you. We should do a thorough search of the cave.
Yeah, so we should check further into this den.
Sure.
All right. So with that, as Sir Denrick, Zahir, and Virden, as you all make your way deeper into the cave after kind of having this conversation to ensure there's nothing kind of else waiting for you. Morello and Axoff. Morello, you're going to be obviously digging into your wood supply, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So go ahead and take off one wood equivalent of a fire to go ahead and get it set up as Axoff at this point. Kind of, as you guys are both kind of starting this. I want to actually see. Can I get one going? Yeah, I can. Let's go.
Man.
And then I'll use a charge of my fire breath because it'll reset after going to sleep.
Oh shit.
Oh, I just grabbed the rock. Oh shit.
create fire
Oh god.
that
Oh
way.
no, you crushed him with the axe.
Oh god. Oh shit. Oh fuck.
You're gonna use a charge of your fire breath. You said.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, to light
So-
the fire.
Okay, so as you kind of get it all set up as you need to have it kind of so that it can, kind of breathe and work effectively, you kind of then, as Axel kind of steps back and kind of starts to reach towards the tinderbox, you kind of just, as you kind of inhale in and exhale as the flames kind of emit from your mouth and kind of encompasses the wood stack that you have as it then quickly lights with the kindling as Axel kind of just then kind of steps back and like in awe as he then kind of comes to the realization that your dragonborn makes sense, and so then he kind of puts his tinderpack box. He's like, "Well, I will say that, hey, with how cold it is out here, I think that definitely comes in handy." Considering as he kind of steps back up and warms his hands.
It's a very useful travel skill, and I'll start smoking some of my pipe and offer it to Axov as we're just kind of sitting there.
And he definitely partakes with you. As you guys were doing that, we'll go ahead and move back over to our group here in the back. So if you guys can see, where would you guys like to go? You guys are kind of all, at this point, kind of at this little bisection here.
I'm going to follow Zahir's lead as I cannot see Tailspire.
You can see the string. Oh, yes, you can't pull.
Fire, so I will follow Virden following Zahir.
Okay.
Hold my pocket.
Okay, sounds good. So you guys kind of all single file at this point. So just to kind of describe it to you, kind of deeper into this cave, you had obviously the elevated kind of almost like natural kind of stairs that went up and kind of go up to this landing, and there's like kind of almost like an overhang walkway that kind of leads to another platform a little bit deeper into the actual cave, and there's kind of like a little walkway portion underneath that to the right, and then obviously to the left, you kind of just have like a normal kind of entranceway that goes deeper into the space. So here is going to veer off to the right and go under this little walkway and kind of tuck behind and see what's hanging out back here. Go ahead, and if you would all like to make individual investigation checks or aid anybody with investigation or whatever it is, you guys are all kind of making your way back here.
Let me double check. I believe we have pretty high investigation.
Yes, can I... would I be able to utilize guidance for this?
Yeah, it's fine. For yourself,
sure.
yeah. If you...
Oh, for Bearden.
Yeah, so I mean, if you're just kind of stepping forward and taking the charge, kind of doing a little bit more of this inquiry, because he kind of mentioned that he would like to kind of do this. So yeah, if you want to lead the helm, go ahead and roll with advantage, and go ahead and add your D4 inspiration.
Yeah,
All right, would you mind rolling D4 because I didn't bring that up here?
I did. I can. It's a 2.
All right, so 2. So that is going to be 28.
Holy shit!
Nice.
I got a 19 on the die, my man.
All right, so here, let me go ahead and kind of move this.
8.
So as you guys are, as Sir Denrick, you're kind
I'll
of
still roll, bro. I'll still roll.
okay. Still roll.
Please.
Stop.
Goofy ass. 2.
Bro, your visor falls down and it gets kind of stuck. You're trying to lift it back up, and you accidentally bonk into the wall as your visor's kind of stuck as you're walking, and you're kind of like trying to lift it up as you kind of bonk. You're like, ah, shit. As Zahir kind of has to like grab. Exactly. That's great. But as you guys are all here, let me go and pull up my notes here.
What's
Oh,
you
wait.
laughing at?
No.
Alright, hold on, I got haters.
Bro, no haters, man. Don't let the
Natural
haters.
born hater.
Okay, so as you kind of make your way into this little nook, immediately you can see that. Hold on, I'm gonna switch the music real quick.
All
This
right,
is
I
like
got people
intense,
I got
like
people rolling against me. I got people rolling charisma against me.
Don't pray for, pray against.
I'm gonna roll initiative. I'm gonna roll initiative, dude.
okay, that's
See this thing right here?
goodness
This
gracious.
is my
Okay,
problem solver.
so here we go. So as you guys are kind of making your way along this kind of walled off, kind of the back section of this little hallway on the right hand side. So to describe it to those who aren't in Tailspire, as there's like this little kind of like passageway underneath this kind of overhang. It kind of opens up to the left, and it's like a 15-foot kind of little like hallway off to the side behind this elevated portion. And then as you're kind of veered and you're kind of walking along, kind of looking, making sure to see if there's any indications of anything that might be, like a trap or any additional kind of things that might be waiting for you back here. You see that there's obviously some kind of bones, kind of sprawled out. There's a handful of different things. Oh, hold on. I have so many tabs open, bro. Gosh. Okay, so as you, I'm like, okay, where's Discord? I'm like, I'm hitting OBS like 6 times, thinking I'm like, why? What is shit? Oh, goodness gracious. Anyway, so as you're looking around, you obviously see there's a handful of smattering kind of pools of blood, as and then like bones and kind of areas or things to indicate that they're this is probably a portion as to where some of them were feeding, and you see like kind of tattered, ripped portions of clothing and just a bunch of different kind of discarded garments as you're making your way down this little kind of side passageway. But as you're kind of making your way towards where like the main kind of chamber opens back up, as this area kind of loops around and kind of connects back to this larger portion, at the base of where there's like some of these like natural kind of formed steps as they make their way up to like the elevated portions of this kind of raised up area, you see that you see with the light kind of illuminating from the daylight spell a flicker of something underneath, like a torn, almost looks like tunic of sorts at the base of this of this like step. And as you kind of reach down, kind of pull it off to the side, you do see a little like it's almost like it's a ring. I'm not gonna assume that you want to touch it, but you kind of remove this tunic and you see a little ring on the floor, and it kind of shimmers with the light.
If somebody could pull up the identify spell requirements, do I need to touch it to cast identify?
Let me go ahead and pull that
no,
up for you.
More than
Thank you so
likely.
much. I don't have that available to me.
You're
You
good,
get
man.
about 3
it-
seconds before Sir Denrick picks it up.
No idea, dude. Before he just stumbles into it and trips and puts it in
Identify
You do actually
range.
touch it.
Yeah, it is touch. You do need to touch it.
It is touch. Okay, then I guess without touching it, I'd like to cast Arcana to see if that's a wise enough decision.
You want to roll Arcana?
Yeah, I just want to roll without touching it, just looking it over. If like my initial thought looking at this is, I think it's like going through a mental checklist as Virdon's dealt with at least something similar.
Yeah, go ahead.
Similar enough things. Like,
Go ahead.
first thing, can I touch this or will I die?
Go ahead and make an
roll.
Arcana check. Yep, go ahead.
That's an unnatural 20.
All right, so with that, and I'm actually going to go ahead and indicate on Tailspire for the stream as to where you kind of found this. It's right. It was right here. So as you kind of look down, you kind of take a knee, and at this point, you have Zahir kind of behind you, and then Sir Denrick kind of getting his helmet fixated now, putting the visor up, and now at this point, walking behind you. You look down, and you can see that this ring has it's as you're looking it over, kind of just visually, you can see that it looks blue in coloration, as like you have like the exterior kind of interior portions of the actual ring and construction is like this light blue, and then in between these blue, you see it's almost like a white kind of ring that's like sandwiched by these kind of blue portions of it as it kind of circles around. And looking at it, I mean, it's obvious. I mean, without like getting you have to like really get down to look at it, but you can tell that it's definitely of a coloration that isn't like necessarily like natural per se, and it probably has some sort of, from your indication, your experience, it probably has some sort of enchantment on it that might be causing this coloration. But it definitely doesn't look like it doesn't just look like it's a ring. It definitely looks unique.
Gotcha. In that case, I would like to pick it up.
Okay.
Without putting it on my finger, but pick it up, put it in my palm. And I would like to, assuming nothing happens before I try to cast Identify.
All right, sounds good. You pick it up, you put it on your palm, and nothing happens.
Sweet.
And you go ahead.
And then I think I'll turn for everyone to kind of see through the, so it's not being hidden from Zahir or Sir Denrick.
Okay.
And then like to cast Identify on it.
How long does that take?
Yeah, a ring, just 1 minute here. Then I'm gonna let my magic do its thing and see if I
I think we
get more
should
info.
finish exploring.
So Identify does take 1 minute, just so if you want to cast that now.
Yeah, I'll cast it now, and
Okay.
if you get, I'll as I begin casting the spell, I'll turn to Zahir and Sir Denrick and say, this will only take a minute or so. Go ahead and check the rest of the area, but I want to make sure this is safe.
What are you doing with it?
I'm trying to figure out more about it. It just takes a little bit of concentration. Sorry, as whatever the spell is doing currently at the time is going on.
Spell. I thought you were just gonna stare at it till it speaks to you.
All right.
I mean, that's not a bad method sometimes, So sometimes it's the best thing to do.
All right, I kneel down, and you said there was a cloak on the ground.
It was kind of like it was like a torn shirt that was covering this ring initially.
Are there like bones?
Yeah, there was bones kind of leading. You didn't really see this because your visor was all fucking skewed. But as you kind of look around and look at this back portion,
here's the thing. Sir Denrick is level 8. He knows how to use a helmet. Me, level 1.
bro, because it's cold, it's freezing up the joints of your visor.
Fair enough. So I'm gonna kind of move the shirt around, kind of move like the bones, I guess, around, and kind of look around at it.
So as
if there's any other indicators of who it might be.
Oh, if you want to see of who the fragments of. So go ahead and make a medicine check for me as you're looking around at these various bones on the floor.
Yeah. So if there's like bones, I'm looking for maybe like, I don't know, like a scroll or a pouch or something that might tell you like. Really
So I will say this, for this section that you guys have already made your way up to with Viridin's high investigation, you definitely like covered it all. However, this little little side hallway does open up to a larger section. So if you do want to go ahead and make your way past Viridin,
right?
Yeah, further back deeper. So you and Viridin can kind of make your way back to past him as he kind of posts up.
I could take a picture of my screen so that these guys could.
Yeah, that actually sounds great. Could you do that? And it's posted into the Discord.
Yeah.
That would be awesome, so that the visuals are there.
You still want me to do a roll?
Yeah, you can go and roll though for medicine as you're kind of observing these bones if you want to, for sure.
Let's see if this will do fine enough.
Medicine?
Medication.
7. Okay. So as you
Visuals and graphics.
Give me a second.
So as you're looking around at the various bones, you can... Oh. Alright. As you're doing that...
There he goes.
Oh boy, here he goes.
Sorry, my cat took a turbo shit and fucking stinking up the whole place.
I figured to say took a turbo shit in your helmet, and I was going to be like, oh shit.
Yeah, not even 30 minutes after.
Was it-
I would have gathered some XP, dude.
Of
I
course
would have
it was
got
Ollie.
3 XP, dude.
Alright.
Story time? Oh, Master of Dungeons.
Okay, so as you're looking...
Okay.
As you're looking around, you can see that you can see just even with a 7, you can tell that a lot of these bones are definitely animal. There's a lot of different things like there's like big like head of like with like antlers and whatnot. You can definitely see that a lot of it resembles like kind of animals. You can see that there are kind of some bones and skulls that resemble some humanoid figures. However, obviously with that roll, you can't really discern what kind of creatures, but you definitely know it's a mishmash of like wildlife as well as people, clearly, because considering that they found a ring and the ring wouldn't necessarily be on a creature per se.
So it's a pile. I thought it was like just the like human remains.
Well, so it's
yeah.
did you send the photo? If you guys want to look at the
I did. I sent it to the visuals.
If you want to look at the photo, you can kind of see that like you guys were in this back kind of portion on that little hallway, and there was just like kind of like a handful of bones kind of smattered around. However, as you hear in Sir Denric, as you guys are kind of pushing past Fierden, and with the daylight kind of spell still illuminating, you can see that there is in the back kind of corner over there, kind of across from where you are at like a 45-degree angle, there is a massive piling and stockpiling of bones and just the various like it's kind of like almost reflecting this like kind of bright white as you can see this large pile of just remains.
All right. Well, while he does that, see here. You want to take a look back here?
Are you referring to the bone pile or the little hole in the wall over to our right?
We should probably look at both.
Alright, which one first?
There doesn't seem to be much here.
I think we should check into this hole over to the right.
Yeah, just in case anything jumps out. Let's proceed with caution. We don't know what's back there.
I would like to throw a trick into the hole.
Okay.
Yeah, one of my little fuzzy things.
Throw a canary into the coal.
Okay. Go ahead and make just a straight dexterity check for me real quick to see if you can finesse it into this little crevice.
Yo.
Because you're still about 25 feet away from it.
That's an 8.
That's an 8.
Yeah.
So as you go ahead and throw it, it does like you get kind of your trajectory ready to go, and as you throw it, you just whiff it, and your elbow kind of cocks out, and it manages to hit against this rock and kind of stumble and then kind of form. Go ahead and go. It's a 7.
Very dramatic music started playing on my end, man. I'm ready
Dude,
to get shivved.
So did mine,
As
actually.
he sat there smoking a pipe, just.
I'm just sitting in absolute radiance. Just started playing. I'm like,
dies.
Okay, hold on. So you have a great bag of tricks, right?
Yes.
Okay, so as you throw it and you kind of whiff this toss and it hits against this rock and the ball kind of like hits the floor, emitting from it is a similar size as it kind of apparates into the space, a similar sized wolf as it kind of like curls out. It does not have white fur. It has a kind of like grayish, kind of darker colored. As a dire wolf kind of spawns out into this space, which actually.
Whoa.
Let me go ahead.
Repurpose one of these other models.
Just make one of them stand up and walk over.
yeah, bring it back over.
Hold on. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and place this. I'm gonna resize it to the dire wolf. There you go. And now you have a dire wolf kind of just as it kind of
Damn.
kind of looks around, and then kind of like makes eye contact with you and just kind of like sits back on its haunches and kind of just waits for your obediently for
I'd
your
like
command.
to command it to enter the den.
Into this little hole.
Yes.
So as it looks over, kind of its size is far too large. However, you can see that even from this distance, you can see that its head does dip down a little bit, and you kind of hear it sniffing, kind of in a downward direction. And then after waiting for like 5 seconds, it sniffs. It just kind of turns back and then just kind of sits again, looking at you expectantly.
You put him in that corner. Then there's this hole further on the right. Is that anything?
Where?
Right here.
I can see where you're at. I don't see a hole though.
It's like this. Looks like there's a. Oh, okay, never mind.
I think it was just a shadow of the shadow.
The shadow made it look like it was like an arch.
Was that what you were talking about initially?
Yeah.
Oh, well,
I thought that went further in and there was like a den thing, but no, the shadows just made it really dark and I couldn't see anything.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Gotcha. Well,
okay, after seeing that, then I'll command him to see if there's anything in the bone pile and anything you might pick up.
okay. So as you guys are kind of still standing there, as it kind of walks over, starts to kind of sniff, kind of just like as it kind of like skulks over there, kind of sniffs.
Still hear me?
Yeah, we can still hear you.
Bro, we hear you loud and clear, buddy.
Sound
boy.
kind of crispy.
Man,
Yeah, sound crispy.
Sounds like you're eating a
extra
microwave,
crispy,
friend.
dude.
Yeah.
You're extra crispy.
But yeah, so as it goes over there and investigates and kind of like steps onto the bones and kind of gets really up in there and doesn't pull anything, nothing triggers, nothing out of the ordinary happens, as it kind of does the similar thing of once it kind of feels like it's done what you asked successfully, it steps off to the side and just kind of sits and kind of waits expectantly, kind of panting.
It seems pretty clear. It doesn't appear to be much else, although
You hear screaming.
although I think we should look. I don't know if it's looking for the same thing we are.
It's like a hole.
Well, yeah, there's just like some insets, like some set-in walls.
Yeah, like there's like directly in front of you. There's almost like a little bit of like a cubby recess. And when the wolf went up there, it kind of like dipped its head down and kind of like submerged its head in something, but didn't seem to indicate on anything. However, while you guys are figuring out that, I will go back, Virden, as you kind of at this point kind of propped up off to the side of where like these kind of elevated steps are. You kind of propped up on one leg, kind of opened up your spell book and started to cast Identify. At the end of this ritual, or at the end of this casting time, you do discern that it is a ring of cold resistance.
Okay.
And that is about that is the extent of the magical properties.
Okay, so it doesn't have like charges or anything.
Nope.
Just okay. Cool.
It does require attunement, but other than that,
all right. Well, I'll just put that immediately in my pocket.
Sounds good.
They didn't wander far enough. I can still see Zahir and Sir Denric, right?
Yeah, they move past you like 15 feet, and they're this like making this wolf do a bunch of different things while you're casting.
And I guess there's daylight cast over there too.
Yeah.
I'll just rejoin them.
All right, so you kind of step forward, kind of rejoin their little group. At which point
I'll hear him come up behind and say, well, what is it? Did you find that out?
Yeah, it was a very useful ring. Something for resisting the cold, so something that I think will be useful for us.
Quite convenient.
Yeah, well, if you think about it, any traveler coming this way had to have a good reason, so this ring would be a good reason.
Fortunately,
Interesting.
it appears at least the cold didn't do him in while they were wearing that ring.
Yeah, it's a promise. Are they looking at a hole that the wolf can't get inside of right now?
No, the wolf had already moved on to the big bone pile off to the left-hand side. No one has moved forward at this point. However, as you guys are kind of discussing, I'm going to move back over to Morello and Axoff. Morello, is there anything you'd like to do?
Is the whole Virden size?
Or have an owl, dude.
Hold on, I'll get back to you. I'm going to go ahead and let Morello step in here.
Sure.
I'm going to shove you in there.
Can I start just taking whoever's tents are like off their thing on their mounts and just start setting up people's tents for them? And then I'd also like to double check outside while I'm doing that and just like make sure there's nothing nearby the cave.
All right, go ahead and go outside, and just going to kind of step out to the mouth of the cave, and go ahead and make a perception check with disadvantage. You do still have your light spell up, right? Or are you going to cast a light spell?
I'll cast a light spell. If it's dark enough that I need it, then I'll cast it.
Yeah, it's still dark outside. I mean, the light from the inside of the campfire is kind of flickering out and reflecting, but you're kind of stepping out and you want to obviously illuminate the space a little bit. So go ahead and make it with disadvantage, as it is dark and it is still snowing pretty heavily.
But what if I have dark?
Yeah, dark vision. Bro, I got no vision, dude.
It's a new moon. You can't see shit.
So I can't see anything. 12.
Actually
12.
not too bad.
So as you kind of step out like about 5 feet, kind of look up, look around, kind of key in with your ears, kind of using almost more of your audio than it is like actual looking around, considering would be a little more helpful in this scenario. You can hear like the cracking of the fire behind you. Snow is kind of continuing in a heavy set kind of pattern downward. It's calm. It's kind of peaceful. Besides the fact that you just encountered a very deadly threat inside this cave, out here is pretty peaceful. Don't hear anything. Nothing to alarm you.
Okay, well I will go in and I'll start setting up camp then for everyone and start setting up the tents that I can see. And I'll look around to Axov. I know we talked about this before, but have you ever run into any of the other creatures on the Frost Trail?
I'm not gonna lie. I think that this is going to be the probably only time, and probably going to be the last time that I'll ever come out here at this point in the winter. This is obviously a very deadly excursion, and a lot of the winter entities that do reside around this area, they do not obviously poke their heads out in spring and summer, which is when I do the majority of my moving and kind of operating around. So, thankfully, I mean, I have to say thankfully that I have not actually met. This is probably one of the first actual dangerous encounters that I've had when it comes to some of the winter creatures out here. I just know that there are a lot of them, just from the various townsfolk, but this is probably the first encounter that I've actually had of anything of the winter variety.
Okay. I was just wondering, especially because we've heard so much about those giant fiery insects. I was wondering if there is anything special about them similar to these wolves, and if you had any special stories.
All I really know is the fact that they are obviously extremely dangerous. They are very massive. They are much larger than these wolves, and they definitely they burrow. So it's kind of hard to it's definitely hard to kind of discern them until they're right on top of you. Is what I've heard, and I've heard a lot of groups and kind of hunting parties or anything along that variety have fell prey to them, mainly because of the fact that they did not know that they were they're upon them until it was too late. So
No matter, that's the bugs.
Yeah,
we're talking about the bug.
Bugs.
However, I will say that speaking of warmth, and he kind of gestures over to the hot spring that's kind of in the corner of this cavern.
Oh, boys, we skinny dipping?
I mean, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about you, Morello, but I mean, might as well take full advantage of the warmth as we can.
Yes, I think I'll finish setting up camp here, and then once I can relay with our other comrades whether or not the cave is safe, I think just a little bit of relaxation would be nice for us all after such a long trek.
I definitely agree. Actually, I should probably set up my own equipment as well, and I think it'd probably be best to have it all ready to go before we dabble in such pleasantries. So at this point, you guys kind of both make your way over to the actual to your mounts and kind of start to unstrap the tents and kind of get everything figured out.
Yeah, and then other than that, yeah, we'll just kind of hang out. Did I? Oh, I didn't buy any booze to take with me. So yeah, we'll just kind of hang out and continue doing our thing.
My shit too, bro. I'm sad.
I assume that everyone at various points. I know Virden, you kind of called it out, but as soon as you did, I'm assuming everyone picked up their cloaks that they doffed.
Yeah, I have mine just
Yeah.
to the side. I'm not super worried about it because it's not. It's just nice to have for outside, so I'm walking around without it. But I do have it on the back of Lenny.
Sounds good.
Jenny.
Would you have
Jenny.
mine?
I think it's Kenny.
Oh, it's Kenny. That's right.
No, it's Denny.
Oh, it's Dan. Ah, yeah.
It's Frenny. All right, so kind
Anyway,
of shifting back to the other group. What are y'all doing?
I guess. Are we gonna
I'll
check
recall
through
my
this corner?
bird boulder. Sorry.
You're gonna. Go ahead, Virden.
Are we-
I was just gonna recall my bird boulder to assist with any searching we're doing. But that's pretty much it. Just assisting Zahir and Sir Denrick.
We
Sounds good.
searched the hole, right?
No, you guys have not made your way and searched anything. The only thing that has done anything at this point is the wolf.
Okay.
So I guess I'll do if I could just do a perception check for any kind of nooks and crannies, or if I don't need to do that, an investigation check around, just to kind of cover as much ground as we can, I guess.
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Sure. That is
Implied text.
my favorite number, almost.
That's implied taxes.
That's just dirty 20.
Dirty 20? Okay. So as you're looking around, so off to the right-hand side, the wall kind of goes at a 45-degree angle and kind of then hits the back wall after about 30, 40 feet. There's like kind of like a large boulder, like a kind of large like rock formation that kind of raises up out of the ground. And as the back wall kind of juts back to the left and kind of goes and creates this kind of finishing off this back section of the cave, there is that little indentation that the wolf kind of already investigated with his head, which didn't seem to glean anything from, and then moved off. And then the wall kind of just continues straight, and then eventually off to like where the wall then like doubles back and starts to hook back towards where you guys have already been. There's a large amassing of bones and kind of just remains and debris and whatnot into this little kind of nook portion off to the left hand side of the actual kind of backspace here.
I imagine anything they can't eat is going to be in that bone pile.
Yeah, I guess I'll send Baldur over kind of to that nook area, just to kind of check it out with his eyes,
Okay.
and also just in case there's any more danger than the wolf saw. Obviously, the wolf didn't smell anything.
Okay.
So
Sounds good.
Did you say to the group what the ring does?
Yeah, I told you.
Yeah, he told us.
At least.
Oh, okay.
While you're sending Boulder, what does Denrick and Zir do?
He's sending Boulder
guess
over
that-
to.
Yeah, he
he's
kind
sending him
of
to the corner or the.
he's
bones?
sending his owl to the little nook.
Okay.
See if he
I
can-
guess since he found this fancy ring, and it seems to be quite useful, I'm going to look around for less
Or fancy
anything
rings?
non-digestible.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look for non-digestible.
I'm gonna
Okay.
go rifle a bit through the bone pile.
All right, so you guys
Such
kind of
as
you guys are making your
Treasure
way.
chests.
All right, sounds good. So I want both of you go ahead and make an investigation check with your owl, or a perception check, I would say, considering he's more looking. And then go ahead and both make investigation checks. So you guys are kind of scouring this kind of large kind of space in the back
buddy.
corner here, as well as the bone pile. See here and
May I utilize guidance on myself, or would I?
yeah, you can do it
I have
yourself.
the
No, I'm
result
gonna.
when you're- Good.
If Sir Denrick, if you're more comfortable rifling through this, I can assist you.
Sure. I mean, that's fine.
Yeah. Can I help him and cast guidance?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, then.
Or
I
Yeah,
have
you-
my
you do
result
that.
when you're ready, Jared.
what does guidance do?
1d4.
I added D4 to your check.
Okay.
All right, go ahead and tell
Thank
me
you.
your
Plus reroll?
result there, Virden.
I got a 22.
22. So as you make sure they're still good to go. So as you make your way, or as Boulder are you warging at this point?
Yes, so I'll
Okay.
just be like, I feel pretty safe in here, so.
Okay, so as you kind of get into the eyes of Baldur as he kind of goes over and flutters kind of above this space and looks down, you can see there's about probably like a 2 to 3 foot recess in the ground as it kind of goes down and kind of almost slopes a little bit and kind of goes like a smidge deeper into this almost like this nook underneath the kind of like cave wall is just like a little bit of an opening as it kind of slopes down and kind of goes in a little bit.
Do I see any wolf eggs in there? But I don't see anything really going on, right? It
Do
just
you-
seems like
Road.
you
thing
prob-
explored.
Yeah, from where Baldur's kind of like flapping and like around and kind of like looking around, you don't see anything immediately discernible. However, obviously he can't really get into that underneath like sloped portion that's kind of like almost like tucked into the wall. So you can make your way over there and investigate that if you'd like.
Yeah, I'll leave no stone unturned. Then I'll just go ahead and do that after, just to knock it off the list.
All right. So as you make your way over there, so as you're kind of looking down, you can't really discern. You can see that it definitely funnels into the space more. However, you can't see like the angle at which you're looking and the way the light's kind of like emitting into this area. You cannot see what's actually in that space. So
are you saying I have to reach my arm inside and feel?
Yes, to discern what anything within there, you would have to do that. Yes.
Cool. I'm gonna use Mage Hand to reach inside.
Okay, so as you kind of pull up your book and kind of cast Mage Hand as your hand kind of illuminates in a purple kind of hue, and then kind of almost like detaches and floats off and starts to go under like into the actual space. Mage Hand does tuck underneath to about, I would say, because I'd say like Mage Hand's probably like the hand and like maybe like 4 or 5 inches of the wrist. I would say that the whole hand can, like all the fingers and everything can fit underneath, but the wrist portion does kind of stay exposed. And then you kind of feel around and start to grab. As far as I know, Mage Hand doesn't give you like discernible like feeling, right?
I don't think so. I think you might like. Yeah, I think I'll just be grabbing. Like, see if there's anything I'd be grabbing and pulling out. Essentially, is kind of how I'm feeling.
Okay, but, so you're kind of grabbing and like kind of scooping. At which point, after a second in there, kind of 4 to 5 seconds go by. Eventually, you kind of hear this almost like sounds of like metal sliding as something slides out. At which point, you kind of fixate on it, and you use Mage Hand to pick it up. And what do you do?
I guess I'll bring it out so I can visually see it.
Okay, as you bring it out, it is 1 platinum piece.
Nice.
Yeah, I ain't casting Identify on that. So I'm gonna put it in my pocket.
There you go.
Is a platinum piece of returning.
It always goes back. It's just that'd be so fucked up. All right, so as
platinum piece of return, isn't a platinum 1,000 gold?
No, it's 10. Like 10. It's 10.
Oh.
But
I'll take it.
Yeah, for sure. As you
That's
two,
a bottle of wine in some towns.
That is true. That is elven midsummer wine for those cultured enough to partake.
Yeah. But yeah, I think at this point is kind of as far as Virden can get giddy from the bounty I've acquired. I'm gonna kind of like assist with the search, but I'll make a point of looking into anything. But I think actually, never mind. I think I'm gonna turn around and see 2 people poking at bone piles, right?
Yes. Yeah. At which point, what did you roll?
Sir
Denric?
Oh, so I've been rolling like goofy, and you turned a 9 into a 15.
Ooh.
All right. Well, a 15 was exactly what you needed.
Yeah. Wait, Todd, how does a +4 make a 9 to 15?
So
with guidance, right?
I had a 9. And I have +2.
Oh, that makes more sense.
Which makes 9 into an 11.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
And then you roll
+4, and a D4 is +4. And my extra roll was a 1 for the goofy advantage. So all around not too bad.
Oh, I see. Okay.
You scooped it in, buddy.
But as you guys are both kind of looking, Sir Denric, you're kind of leading the charge with this. As Zahir, you're kind of pointing out certain portions that kind of almost flicker and illuminate. Collectively, as you both are kind of discerning through this pile and kind of wading through and picking out different coins and pieces you guys are finding, anything of note. As you guys are picking through here, you do see that there's a lot of damaged pieces of clothing. You see that there are some damaged kind of like daggers, like a short sword, a couple different weapons that are kind of crude at this point. As you can see that they've kind of been blunted out at the edges. They've obviously been kind of used heavily and been over, just kind of rusted out over time. However, collectively, you both with a 15 investigation. Someone wants to write this down? Sure, Deborah, you can write this down since you were helming it. Both of you find 86 gold pieces. You find 86 gold pieces, 70 silver pieces, 209 copper pieces, 2 gold rings, 2 silver necklaces, and a jade ring.
70. Okay, say that 3 more times.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
86 gold pieces, 70 silver pieces, 209 copper, 2 gold rings, 2 silver necklaces, and a jade ring.
These men are walking out of that thing fucking glowing.
2 gold necklaces?
2 silver necklaces.
Oh.
2 gold. It's 2 gold rings, 2 silver necklaces, and a jade ring.
Jade ring. Okay, just to be sure, I got 86 gold, 70 silver, 209 copper, 2 gold rings, 2 silver necklaces, jade ring.
Yes, that is correct.
Well, it does seem rather morbid to be rooting through this, but I suppose they won't really be needing it anymore. Hey, do you think these are magic?
At this point, Virden, you walk over.
Yeah, I'll walk over. And,
I'm like kind of looking at the.
I love the helmet so much. He's like looking through the visor.
I'm kind of looking at the jade ring, and I'm like
Yeah.
hunched over, and I look over it.
As he's looking at the jade ring, does it look just on a first glance like there is a chance it's magical?
Make an Arcana check.
Arcana. Yeah.
Yeah, so I turn and I'm like, Bearden, is this magic?
That is another dirty 20. Jeez.
At first glance, just from just as he turns and shows it to you, it does not look like it's indicating anything that would indicate magic. However, there's only one way to truly be sure, but it doesn't look like magical off your first instinct.
I'll take it from him and say it's like your luck. Let me go ahead and do that my little ritual real quick. But I'm not thinking it's anything crazy, and I'll go ahead and cast Identify again.
All right,
a lot more casual about it.
I'd like to look at the other jewelry and see if there's like any inscriptions, writing, text on any of them.
Go ahead and make.
So I was kind of stuffing it all into like an extra like leather pouch I had, and I'll hand the bag to you, Zafir. Obviously,
yes.
Zahir.
Yes.
Since like you probably asked, you're like, oh, can I see that? No,
Yeah.
hand it to you.
Go ahead and make.
This
oh, sorry. Continue.
This is rather foreboding. This is quite the pile of corpses.
Well, there are quite the pile of wolves in here.
You seem to be the lucky ones.
I think while I'm looking this over, I know Zahir's distracted, but also I'll pose a question. It's like, looking at these bones, do most of these bones look like at least like an animal did it, or do these wolves recently move in? I'm focused on my thing right now, but
are you asking them?
Okay. Yeah, I'm asking them as I'm casting Identify. So I'm kind of preoccupied with my own thing.
Or any of you wanted to invest? Yeah, I would say, Sir Derek, if you want to look at the bones and see, since usually here you're going to be looking at the rings. Go ahead and make an investigation check. Investigation checks here.
20.
20. That'd be 20 to your survival. Go and add your survival bonus.
Nat 20.
Oh, natural 20.
Shit.
Oh shit. Okay, yeah, you're good, bro. So looking.
So things are looking up. I think I've identified which dice rolls low and which one rolls high.
Okay.
We're looking good this session.
Hell yeah.
Todd, mark him. Get a pen, mark him.
I keep that thing on me, bro.
I love that the audio doesn't change from your visor. Like you think it would, but it's literally the same. You lift it up, it's the same. You lift it down, it's the same.
It actually doesn't stay up, which I think is actually the point. So you don't get shot in the face.
Yeah.
But bro, dude.
I think if you're getting shot, it doesn't matter.
Bro,
I think if you're getting shot, you're getting shot.
Bro, this shit's heavy, bro. They must have got thick necks, dude.
Yeah, bro. The neck,
like 5 pounds, dude.
the neck muscles be going stupid.
Alright, anyway, continue.
Natural 20. Just looking at these bones, you can like it looks like a variety. Some look super old, like could be months, maybe longer. And then you have some that look relatively fresh, maybe within like the last couple of days, a week or so. So it looks like this bone pile could have been like a contribution of many creatures living here, or just them living here for a long period of time. But it definitely looks like a culmination and a long duration of time that these bones have been here.
So, shit, what's our guide's name?
Axoff.
Axel.
So Axov's not with us, right?
No, him and Morello are out the front.
Yeah.
Okay. From what I could tell, this kind of looks like a mixture. I've seen a few wolf dens before, obviously of the normal kind, but I mean, it just looks like a mixture of different game, different kills.
Well, Sir Denrick, if you've
Some
been
old,
dealt with
some
normal,
new.
if you dealt with normal wolves before, do normal wolves talk?
Normal wolves do not speak, as it turns out.
Oh, okay. Shit.
That
Alright,
was
never mind.
I thought it was a troll.
Normal wolves also don't
That
breathe
was
ice.
that would have been quite the fight. I'll tell you what.
Okay. Well, I just haven't really messed with them.
Remind me to
But
tell
go ahead.
you the story of the troll in the foothills I vanquished at one point. It is quite the tale.
Yes. Sure. I'll be sure to ask.
And for
I think the entire time I'm talking with him, I'm still staring at my hand as I'm letting the arcane ritual complete.
Yep, and then
Yeah,
go.
This is definitely the most bones I've seen in some sort of beast layer.
So,
Makes sense.
So Zahir, as you're looking over these, what'd you roll?
I rolled a 13.
13. Just looking at them for any inscribings or anything of notable kind of indication of maybe like arcane sigils or just writing or anything. You do see that on one of the rings, on the inside of the gold ring, you do see that it says "To my beloved." Other than that, the rest of them are kind of just plain jewelry, at least from what you can tell.
Well, that's unfortunate. None of these appear super special to everyone, but there is one that was gift. This does seem to be some sort of wedding ring or a gift or something. And I'll show it to
Well, we could always
Sir Denrick.
kind of peer it, look it over.
You look it over and you see that on the inside kind of portion of this gold ring, you can see it says "To my beloved" in common.
That was quite sad. I would say if we make it back on this trek, we could bring these few possessions back to the keep, and maybe people are missing them.
Seems like a best case scenario. All right.
Well, and on that note, they don't seem to be.
Wait, how long has the frost trail been closed to regular travel?
It is dead winter, so it's probably been like a month or two. And I wouldn't say it doesn't close per se. It's like
regular travel at least.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Regular travel. Yeah. Also, at this point, as your identify kind of pops and the kind of the art, like the arcane kind of sigils in your book, kind of flare as the magic is cast into this ring. It is not magical.
Sweet.
It is. I guess. Are you good?
And I will say, just one final note, kind of with your cumulative investigation checks, you guys have pretty much scoured the majority of this back portion and have
majority, you say?
Well, at least of this, the majority of this area, and have at least feel pretty confident in your search for kind of anything that might be of notable use in this cave. However, you guys have not went up to that elevated platform yet.
Yes, I was just about to say.
Yeah. I'll return the ring to Sir Denrick and say, sadly or fortunately, depending on what it could have been, this is not a magical ring.
Yeah, and I'll hand him the pouch back.
Okay. Well, I'll be looking to see if I can return this ring at least. But
I can return it for you if you like.
It doesn't. I mean, it doesn't really matter, does it?
No,
I'll just keep it with the rest.
Sure, whatever you need to do.
I figure we can
keeping my other ring in my pocket with my platinum piece. Like, yeah, go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, we can divide up the rest if that's what you guys would like to do. But
No. You
this
do what you need to do. Let's stay focused on figuring out what else might be in this cave, and then return to Morello and Axoff.
All right.
One thought I did. Hold on. One thought I did have though, which I find strange, is these bones seem to be pretty old, and Axov seems certain that this was a place of refuge, but it doesn't seem as
how
such.
old do they look, roughly?
Some could be months, maybe years. Is that cap?
No, you're good.
Okay, some could be months, years, I'd say.
Not sure many people are coming in and cleaning out the bones, to be fair.
Yeah, it might have been safe in the wolf. Months at least makes sense to me. Could have been a safe place, and then wolves moved in somewhat. I guess in the term of years, somewhat recently.
Well, I mean, they have reiterated quite a few times that nobody does this trek, but it just seems like in the summertime, someone would at least pass by, or maybe someone would say, "Hey, don't go near that cave."
Oh, that's a fair point. I think we should be perhaps a bit cautious around Axoff. At least not, don't necessarily keep anything from him, but also, don't be too forward with all the information we have. If you catch my drift. My Tokyo drift.
I guess things like this are what we are for, huh? And I kind of stand up and I'll like kind of pat Beard in the back. Let's take a look back in the main cave. Just make sure we cover everything.
I think I'll say sure, but I'll make my move up to the elevated platform.
Yeah, so kind of like directly behind this this big bone pile, there are like kind of incremental kind of natural tiering kind of elevated steps kind of making their way up to this kind of upper portion of the cave. I'll just say that as you guys kind of make your way up to this portion, go to make investigation checks as there kind of goes up to a raised landing, has that little kind of bridge, goes to another little landing, and then cuts back down and makes their way back.
Ooh, baby.
And makes its way back to the main portion of the cave. So I'll just say I'll just kind of do one last sweep up here. Go ahead and roll.
Investigation. Good.
No, you go ahead.
Oh yeah, mine's a 26.
All right, 26.
This guy's fucking nutty, dude.
Mine is a 6.
All right, and then you want to roll investigation, Stenring?
Yeah. 12.
12. Okay, so I would say Virden kind of leading the front of the pack here. You can kind of see kind of like tufts of fur and probably like portions where these wolves at one point. These wolves at one point probably were like resting up here and laying down, especially since like kind of the approach at which they kind of attacked Morello and your group. However, as you're scouring this area and making your way back to the main portion of the cave, and just even kind of glancing around and checking nooks and crannies, you do see as you make your way kind of across the little bridge area back down some of these kind of steeper steps. And off to the left hand side of these steps, you do find like a patch of mushrooms. Not of any discernible nature. They kind of like these like kind of like brown, kind of grayish mushrooms. And then I mean there's some stalactites and whatnot kind of jetting off from one side of the wall off to the left hand side, but nothing of any notable value as you guys are making your way back to the actual main portion of the cave.
And at this point we've done a pretty much just sweep of the entire place, yeah?
Yep, you've pretty much hit every single wall and cranny, and at this point, Morello, as you and you're kind of pitching up one of the last couple tents, kind of pittings on into the kind of finding some soft spots of the rock. Pretty difficult, but you kind of use various things.
Using my whole ass maul if I
you're like
be like hammering it in.
Yeah, you also like tying them off to like different things, like using different means of because obviously the ground inside of here is stone, so you're using different means of keeping them upright with like ropes and whatnot. But at this point, every tent is now erect as Axoff's at this point kind of doffing some of his gear. He's kind of like He's kind of has like his bags off. He's kind of got a lot of his equipment off, and he's kind of sitting at the fire at this point. As Morello, you kind of stand upright, kind of wiping your brow as the rest of the group kind of now trudges. Daylight spell just illuminating the shit out of this entire area, making your way back, and you guys kind of all are now at this point rallied around the bonfire.
Was my jacket picked up?
Yeah.
As I come back over.
Yeah. As you come back over, you kind of swoop down, grab it. You're good to go.
Alright.
Yeah, I've definitely put my cloak back.
I got everyone's tents up that I could find on the saddles, but I wasn't able to find one for you, Zahir. Not Zahir.
Thank you, Morello.
Dearden.
Oh yeah. Don't worry, I got a spell for that. Appreciate it though. Think about everything good on your guys' end.
Real quick, since you guys are all kind of back at the bonfire and you guys have already searched the cave, I'm going to drop Tailspire. So, just
You seem to have a spell for most things there, Vierden.
I mean, I try to specialize in things I find handy.
Did you?
I guess you yourself are quite handy.
Yeah, I do my own thing.
Your
Best
knowledge
I
of the
can.
arcane is very nice too.
Yeah. I mean, your seems like mostly divine magic. Certainly served you well. I mean, there's no way I could have taken the amount of hits you took out there. So.
I don't think that was because of my divine blessing. Was more of my ancient giant runes that I found.
Oh well. I don't know if I'd call that divine, but yeah, there you go. That's definitely a trick up the sleeve there that I certainly do not possess myself. But yeah, I mean, as far as patching up the wolves, good job, everybody. We checked the cave. So here, Sir Denrick and I think I'm pretty satisfied calling this place a newly safe house, so to speak.
Did you find anything of interest?
I was about to say, yes.
There?
Is there anything that you found of notable worth?
There is some
Yeah.
discarded, well, I guess discarded by the wolves, but jewelry. Although
This
I don't think there's
Some
much
coin.
else to it.
there was quite the pile of corpses in the back. Place doesn't appear to be the safe haven that you claimed, Axov. Had there been any tales of many missing travelers? We found quite the array of trinkets.
I will say that the only thing that I can recall that might have happened. I know some people like to come over to this cave and they like to partake into the hot spring, and I have heard that there has been some missing individuals when people have come to this cave. And they have tried to kind of take a dip into the hot waters of the cave, and I don't. But it's nothing like there's no notable like, hey, this cave is covered with or is littered with wolves. Don't go there. Like you're fucked if you do that. Or also, obviously, I mean, I think that's a quick battle, to keep us out of the elements. I think was worth it, especially since as he kind of gestures to the group. Y'all were more than capable. Obviously, I mean, I feel like worth it in my mind.
Did
Definitely
you?
worked out in the end, but that might have been decent information to share with us.
Did you
there were
say-
stories of
Yeah.
people disappearing here?
Yeah. Did you say people were lost in the waters of the hot spring?
No, people who wanted to come to and actually and
thank
swim in the
God.
hot spring I do not think. I mean, as he kind of he looks kind of ominously like over to that corner and goes, "Well, I had every intention of partaking, but now I'm not so sure. But I think I'm not certain. I feel like that would be something that would get spread around town, and I have not heard that.
Scale mail over my shoulder into the water.
Yeah,
I can see-
yeah.
I can see the wolf.
Just take
Bro,
my mail and stuff off and just hop in, bro.
All right.
Try and take a dip.
So as he says this, as you kind of just you jump in and you splash.
Dissolve.
I keep myself decent with my tail so that no one can see. Like I use it as like basically a loincloth and wrap it
As
around.
as it
I
hooks.
cover myself.
As you've kind of looked at the pool previously to it, and you kind of jump. You can see there's a couple portions that's like that's a little bit closer to where the actual entrance of the cave is. You can see that there was like some kind of shallower portions, but it does it kind of deeper towards the back, kind of little nook of this little kind of heated space of water. And as you kind of go to the little kind of like in between like the shallow and the deeper portion, you kind of jump in, and it goes down a couple feet, probably about 5 or 6 feet, where like you don't immediately touch because like you tuck yourself, but then you can prop your feet out and you kind of stand up and you're kind of chest deep. It is incredibly hot, very hot. However, as you're kind of bathing in it and kind of walking around, kind of like kind of easing yourself through it, eventually kind of does like the hot tub thing where it kind of like eventually your body gets used to it and it kind of cools out and it's a very comfortable temperature.
I was like, this is much more comfortable for me too because of the type of dragonborn that I am, being in like a way hotter
Oh,
thank God!
There he goes.
There I go.
Oh, he's back.
Oh, I'm back. I never left.
There you go. But yeah, and then I was even thinking about that because it's a little, it's like it's hot, but it's comfortable, and then it kind of cools down, and you're just like, all right, chilling. You kind of go over to like, you go over, and you kind of
lay back, just
you're chilling at this point as everyone kind of on the far side sees this, and Axoff goes, well, I guess that answers that question for sure.
Sure.
As someone goes to walk over, I like dunk under and start flailing.
Make a performance check.
Thank God.
It's a 9.
9. I would say that you're very like with the amount of light that's in here right now from this daylight spell and all these different lights, as you're like panicking and like flailing around, they can very easily see that the lower portion of your body is just like touching the ground.
Yeah. Alright, man. I just go back to relaxing.
As you're chilling, at which point Axoff kind of at this point like, rolls up his pants. It doesn't like fully doff anything. He does like he takes off the majority of his armor. He's already done that already, and kind of just like is in like his like normal like kind of black shirt, and he's kind of like just rolls up his pants to the like to the knees and just kind of dips his feet in, just chilling.
I'm not gonna hang out, man. Do we currently have a plan for what we want to do for watches tonight?
Yeah, I had a thought. I got my sensor spikes we got there, so I was about to go set them up around the mouth of the cave in a way that's kind of covering, or at least in the mouth of the cave, something to cover the approaches there, basically, and we could do watches on top of that, but at least we have that layer of security. I'd be alerted to it.
This wolf that I summoned will remain until dawn, so if
also
we
true.
plan on waking up then he can bark and howl if anything comes.
But also, I sleep a bit less than the rest of you, so I can take a shift of watch, at least the early morning times when you guys chill nap, and I can be awake and alert.
Yeah, I could also. I bought a bear trap that I can set up at the beginning, at the mouth of the cave as well.
So we got a wolf, a bear trap, 3 sensor spikes.
I honestly
tower defense. Ready to go.
I honestly think that we probably will be good. I mean, I am not opposed to obviously staying up as well, but I mean, I'm also not opposed to having a full night's rest as well. So. It's up to the group consensus for sure.
Yeah. If we are comfortable for tonight,
I think between all
I'll
these
be
preparations,
we
should be okay.
We can plan for no watch, and I'll be up a bit earlier anyway. And if something trips the sensor, I'll be awake. So I can make some racket to wake everyone up if something gets bad.
Yes, I planned myself to be up for a little bit longer and enjoy the hot springs so I could watch over from here.
Alright, then I'm gonna go ahead and get to it. I'm gonna set up those sensors at least because we know that much, and I'll get my tent ready.
Okay,
then,
so
I'll exit to do all that.
okay, so how many sensor spikes did you buy? You bought 3, right?
I bought 3, but if one will cover the mouth of the cave, then I kind of want to do.
Yeah, the one will cover the mouth of the cave for sure.
Can I do like a 3 to kind of make like almost like a half circle around the cave? I obviously will have to leave the cave to set it up, so just like 1, 2, 3, just in a way that'll extend the radius away.
Yeah.
So we'll have more warning. Yeah.
Yep, that's easy enough. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, then I'll do that. Then I'll cast my tiny hut. I'll honestly, I'll probably cast like pretty damn close to that hot spring there.
Yeah. So where did you set up all the tents, Morello? Did you want to set them up to like?
To the left of the like mouth of the cave, because we have all the animals on the right side, so I just kind of put them still near the fire and like a semicircle around the left side.
Okay, makes sense. Gotcha. Sounds good. So you go out there, Virden. You kind of you can pull out the 3 sensor spikes. You speak the command word as you kind of nail them into the ground.
What is the command word?
It is going to be sense.
Sense.
But it's going to be in giant. So it's going to be Bosk.
Is it just Bosk?
As you kind of
doing my dragon shout.
Yeah, yeah. As you nail them down, as you speak the command word, it's kind of weird. It's like it almost feels like something is occupying a space in your mind that's like not really discernible, but like as you nail each one or as you drive each one into the ground, it's almost like you can like feel there's like these 3 kind of omnipresent like kind of blips in your mind as you make your way back after successfully making this kind of semicircle of your sensor stakes as you make your way back inside.
Yeah, I think as this is happening, as I'm setting, I'm gonna try to find a way mentally to like get myself comfortable with those 3 spaces and kind of focus my meditation at it, kind of like make it so it's not annoying for me, I guess, as I'm trying to rest.
Yeah, and honestly, once you drive, like the first one, once you placed it, and you're like, by the time you're like halfway through the second one, that first kind of feeling of the first sensor stake kind of dissipates, and then the second one kind of it's like momentarily uncomfortable, but then it kind of fades. So
sweet. All right, cool.
All right, so as you make your way, I will go ahead and ask all of you to go ahead and get rid of half a day's rations for all of your animals, as well as half a day's rations for yourself.
No problem. I want to spend some time feeding Kafkin and petting him, like checking his feet and such. Just I don't know, just doing maintenance on a car, pretty much.
Yep.
Oh shoot!
Sounds good.
How many days of rations for our animals did we get?
We got a lot. I don't have my sheet in front of me right now, but a lot.
Did you not write it down? Because if you didn't write it down, 0.
I wrote down mine.
I got 14 for mine.
Yeah, I was gonna say mine was at least 14 or 15.
Okay.
No, 14 for that's right. 14 for the animal, 15 for me.
So like the same amount as we got for ourselves.
So do half a days though. It's just a half a days because they're already fed in the morning. So I do basically morning is half, evening's half for a full day.
Gotcha.
And they were already fed that morning, so
no big deal.
All right.
But yeah, as you go ahead and cast, you kind of delve into your spell book, kind of get perform the incantation of getting your tiny hut. At which point you guys are all kind of just chilling out, and then a dome just like materializes in the space next to kind of like the grouping of your guys' tents, as Virden is now obscured within this hut itself. Are you allowing others to enter, or are you locking everyone out?
Yeah, no, I'm making this shit private.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I'll make it like limousine pit black.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, just like this is mine.
Yeah, you're like no one.
People can ask, and maybe I'll allow, but like at this point, nah, it's just for me.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
You're muted, Todd.
Can you hear stuff on the outside?
Yes, so that's the thing. I can see out and then hear out.
Well, I guess I kind of look at I kind of look at Morello and Zahir, and I was like, "Can you two do something like that?"
I cannot.
Absolutely not.
Huh.
That's as far beyond the scope of magic that I have.
He's quite the strange fellow, but Can't argue with quite the jack of all trades, as one would say.
It is very nice that he is working with us and not against us, I will say.
Yes, I can't say I have the most utility outside of combat, but I have a thing or three.
But yes, most of my magic, actually pretty much all of my magic is for the medical reasons. I only have a few spells and a couple of the giant's runes that I have learned that are not really for medical needs.
Well, depending on what more we encounter, the that healing you can do will come quite in handy.
Yes, and then if we ever run out, I can also create water. So,
Create water.
yes, I can create water, and if I'm given a little time, I can create food as well.
I think at this point, if it's fine with you, Jared, I'll, like with my hut all set up, I'll go ahead and leave and join everyone else.
Yeah, I'm still just sitting in the hot
So
springs.
just so you're aware, the hut you have to stay in it, or else it will dissipate.
Oh hell yeah! Yeah, in that case, I will not, because I would have known this as a spellcaster.
If
and
you,
yeah, I'll kill it. Yeah,
I think
well,
it's
in that case,
Mordenkain's
you'll-
magnificent mansion that will stay up even if you're not in it.
Right, yeah.
the spell ends if you leave its area. Yeah.
Yeah, then I'm
If you
killing it.
if you wanted to, you could have known that like preemptively and
and not cast it. till
and
we're
not
done.
cast it if you wanted to hang
Yeah.
out for sure.
Yeah, I'll if that's fine with you, I'll just do that. So I can chat, make sure everyone's good for the night. Then I'll
Yeah, that
black
sounds good.
Bob on the ground.
Have you just retcon deleted our whole entire conversation?
Nah.
We can have that
Happens in the
conversation.
future.
Yeah,
Slightly,
we've seen him
yeah.
cast
No,
before.
no. I'll say this. I'll say as it like starts to materialize, it was like starting to build the dome, and then you were like, wait, and then you like stop the spell and it kind of just.
That says I like building it. Then I'm like, oh yeah, there's people here. I should make sure we're good.
Yeah, I should actually like double check with the party before I finish doing so. Yeah.
Yeah, so then it kind of just dissipates.
Also, just I want to say, all the magic I cast is just gross looking. Like it's all just like black smoke and like
It's like
kind of
ichor.
mirage screaming faces and such, just like building out of like black. But like for me, I'm just doing it. Like I'm building this house of horror. But I'm like, I'm making my fucking hut.
Kind of
Yeah.
hear like dissident whispers. It's like, oh gosh. You're like, what the fuck is that dude's issue?
As soon as he starts like making the hut, I just sink my head underwater. I'm like,
It-
yeah, no, I'm not looking at this right now.
I guess that's kind of why I called you weird.
that's about right. That sounds about right. Yeah.
Yes,
Email.
as you guys all kind of.
Where does your magic come from?
Hmm?
Where does your magic come from?
Oh, I learned it. I don't. I'm not like I'm necessarily that magical like just me, but I just I'm a reader, so I read up on it, learned how to do it. Anyone can do it.
Do you think I could do it?
Okay, some people can do it.
Oh, come on.
But-
If he sets his mind to it, I think he would be a great wizard, yes.
Yeah. No, I mean, no,
Wonderful scholar,
yeah.
yes.
part of my my like training was mainly like with swords and such, but I kind of leaned a lot more into the magic side of it and just got good at that too. So yeah, I mean, it's really just about reading and practicing, and just if you dedicate a couple decades to it, you can get pretty good.
We do
Couple
have in Weston. We do have a court wizard, and
Mm-hmm.
he is quite old. And assuming he'd been doing it for quite a while, but he doesn't really cast. I haven't seen him cast anything that along the lines of what you all have done here.
Well, do you know how old he is? How long has he been practicing?
How long has he been practicing?
Yeah, you mean just because for me, like time seems like the biggest factor, at least from the people I know.
I think he'd been there for the last few kings. I think he's 138 years old, I believe.
Oh, okay, so yeah. He's getting good, probably. I mean, again, for depends on this guy's skill, right? I don't think.
Made that up, dude.
I know you did.
Bro, there's no court wizard. He doesn't exist.
Bro,
You
say that too, Bearded. I made that shit up.
No. I mean in the sense of like in the game, bro. Dude,
I'm
you better
just
be writing that down. You're gonna have to make a character, dude.
Yeah,
135-year-old court wizard.
Yeah, who's also been, which also I want to say, who's been there for the last few kings. So how quickly do these kings die?
I was about to say, you do not have a great turnover rate in Weston. Like,
dude, dysentery is rampant in your kingdom.
actually, how many
And
kings
they're
have you
re-elected
served?
every 10 years.
Hey, don't wait. Why am I writing this shit down? You should be writing this shit down for your
Oh, you got me, bro.
How many kings have you served yourself?
Me? Just one. I have sworn fealty to King Aenor the Just. And
The just what?
the Just? What? The Just.
You didn't finish the sentence. Just what?
I throw a rocket beard in from the
What do you mean? What do you mean? Just what? It's a title.
I'm messing around.
Yeah, he is, as we say in my town, yanking your chain.
As to say in my town, taking the piss.
Oh, yes, I put it that.
I kind of nod and like. You are quite a strange fellow, Bearden. I admire that you are very unique. I've not met anyone such as yourself.
In what way do you mean? Have you not met someone like me?
I don't know. I guess mainly down south in Weston's mainly I guess common folk. Some people would call them. Not many. Not too many different races. There's the occasional elves. You sometimes encounter elves passing through. Dwarves will come through and trade at the towns. There's some that work in the mines. Gnomes, halflings. I've seen a dragonborn, or I guess I've seen a couple of your kind, Morello.
Yeah, we are pretty few and far between, so I am not surprised by
Quite a
always
while
with
back.
you.
He was he came with a traveling fair. He was a fire breather. And I remember. Bro, I'm making stuff up, dude. Just stop
Dude,
laughing,
go
bro.
for it. No, it's good.
And
I
I do
like it.
recall seeing him when I was a child at the fair.
Oh,
It was
sweet.
quite wondrous.
Speaking of which, I'm gonna stick my face back in the water and use another charge of my fire breath to reheat the water.
Isn't it a spring? You don't have to read
Yeah,
it.
why would it get cold?
Hey, Jared, you muted.
I would just get used to it from sitting in it for a while.
Jared, you're still
it's
muted.
warm.
Yeah, I still can't hear you.
Jared, we can't hear you.
All right.
Please.
So I will
There we go.
say that that you are obviously that this pool itself is pretty constantly hot, but you get kind of used to the area around yourself, and you kind of go under as the bubbles kind of and like additional kind of mist and steam produces from that area as you kind of rejuvenate the area around yourself. So
Oh, I didn't know I'd have to be fucking world crafting, dude. I guess I kind of set myself up for it, but
What about you, Zahir? Have you ever met anyone of any of our kind when you have been following the stars?
Typically, I'm stay around smaller villages, so everyone in those small villages tend to be one of one species or however whatever term. So generally, no, none of the, I guess, exotic races such as yourself, Dragonborn. But today I have mostly just encountered humans and elves and one village of gnomes.
What about you, Vilden? Have you encountered any interesting creatures on your travels or people?
Well, based off Sir Denrick's tale there and yours here, I'd say, yeah, I guess a lot of the things I see are probably interesting. Mainly because my work takes me to places that, I guess, by their nature, have to be interesting. You know. So yeah, no, I've seen a fair bit around over the past while.
What work do you do?
Oh, like I said, over at the tavern, I'm a collector, so I just get kind of weirder or more strange, just items for people, for clients, or benefactors. Really depends on the situation or what time of my life I was doing it. But yeah, so I just always been a kind of attuned to traveling once I came of age.
I suppose you probably would have seen quite many things then.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I've seen a couple Dragonborn. I mean, I think you're obviously right there, Morello. Like you guys are few and far between. But I've met a couple, I've seen them around. But yeah, there's always weird things to see. I mean, even here on the Frost Trail, there's weird things. I haven't been here before, but I never expected to hear word of a fire insect apparently larger than these wolves out here. So
Yes,
it really depends. Wherever you're at, you're gonna find something weird and exotic to you.
That's very true. This is a very full world, and I don't think I have seen even a quarter of the species that live here.
Yeah, you need to live a lot of years to get bored of something, and if you get bored of something, you're probably living wrong.
Yes, I actually ran into some gnolls on my way into town on the last job that I worked. They were some very interesting creatures.
Yeah.
Big gnolls?
Some gnolls, yes, some like kind of dog-like, hyena-like creatures that stand on their back legs, more humanoid.
Mm-hmm.
Don't believe I've heard of a gnoll.
They're very creepy. They have a insanely high-pitched laugh, and they are pack hunters from what I learned about them through the fact that there was about 5 or 6 that would show up on our trail and try and obviously kill us and take whatever we had.
Seems to be a theme going on along these trails.
Yes, it doesn't seem like anything is that friendly over here.
Axop's here, right?
Yeah, Axel's chill.
Yeah, then I'll turn to
Beat 'em
Axop.
up, dude.
Yeah. How about you, Axop? What creatures or tales do you have to share?
Honestly, I will have to say that some of the weirdest shit that I've heard of is obviously in the in this region that during the winter time I have not actually seen these giant firebugs, these remorazes, but I'll say that's honestly the within the mines of Snowstone there are definitely some interesting entities that live beyond beyond in the depths of the mine shafts themselves that I have encountered that are not very pleasant. But
what kind of things down there?
oh, you know, the large kind of these large bronze like metallic carapace creatures named I don't know if you've heard of an Umberhulk. They are very unfortunate creatures to run into. Just a lot of insects, a lot of things along those nature, but hopefully that is the worst of the hopefully that is the worst of the things that I've seen. Hopefully I do not surmount that by taking this venture with a lot of y'all, because they were not the friendliest, and I have a feeling that if we encounter some of these other things that we've heard from the townsfolk of Grimtoll, it will probably only get weirder from here.
So have you
I
just
would
been in the
say,
area here? Grimtoll and Snowstone has kind of been the area you've lived in your whole life? Or
I've gone south. I've gone south. I've passed through Sheldon Fortress on other errands of sorts, but I generally stick to this area.
Hmm. Oh, okay, cool. I mean, nothing wrong with staying close to home. This
Yeah,
is home to you, right?
a lot of my business. Yes, exactly. This a lot of my business keeps me up here, so that is where I stay.
Yes, it is also very fortunate that this Frost Trail is not home to any dragons with the mountains so nearby.
Well, I mean, I've heard that there are the white dragons that like to peruse every once in a while, but I think that I've not heard of anything like that for some time, and I do not think that and hopefully, God's willing that there nothing returns. None of those dragons will return to this area and wreak havoc and destruction along upon us. But you know,
The
you can only hope. Yes, there. I know that it was probably about.
dragons, you say?
Yeah, but 70 or 80 years ago, I want to say that there was a dragon. There was dragons that were kind of, or a single dragon that was kind of terrorizing the local area. But I have not heard anything,
heard-
at least prior to that.
I've heard tales. They seem to be quite fearsome beasts. I wouldn't want to run into one, but if we did, it would be quite the story. If even if it would be our last.
That is
You are.
go for it.
No, you're definitely correct. But I have a feeling that it would be relatively quick, and I have a feeling that if we were to encounter such a beast, it would not be no one would survive to tell the tale. So I prefer not to encounter such a thing. I would prefer to live. I have a lot of things I need to accomplish, and so.
Yes, my town has the story of an ancient guardian at the top of the mountain where we live that is a slumbering dragon. Luckily, the entire time I lived there, we never saw it because from everything else I've heard about the dragons, they are an absolute terror and nothing that comes into contact with them ever walks away with its life.
Yeah, the places that I have seen or come to and have been told have been hit by or seen dragons, I guess. Yeah, it looks like a whole war went through and chose one specific town to wage its campaign. And I haven't seen one myself, but yeah, I wouldn't envy the chance to see one. Unless I was paid enough. There's enough people to put between me and it, then maybe.
I have to agree that honestly, money is a very great motivator when it comes to stepping outside your comfort zone. Which as he kind of gestures to the cave, which I would say that obviously we have kind of are all experiencing that firsthand.
Well, hey, boys, and I think at this point, I think Vierden's gonna go ahead and hop into the hot tub too, but he's gonna bring that bottle of Elvin Summers wine with him.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Pop the cork off that and offer it to the people in the hot tub there, to Morello and to Axoff.
I'll take it. I'll take a swig of it and I'll offer out my pipe that's on the side of the rocks to him if he wants some of it.
Yeah, I'll accept it and just if we're gonna be going through this together,
Yeah, might as
they're always
well.
sharing some stories, sharing the good times before we go through a few more colder times at least.
Speaking of colder, I'm pretty sure that, I know for a fact that tomorrow night we're going to be out in the elements, so we might as well soak this in as we can, because the next destination is going to be the ruins, which is going to be probably about midday on the third day, or mid-afternoon on the third day that we're going to actually arrive there, so it is going to be pretty brutal tomorrow night, but for now, as he kind of takes his drink of the wine, as he kind of hands it back to Vierden, we can be ready.
That's right. Do you have any advice on how we post up tomorrow night? Tonight, but it seems like we're already set. Nothing really to worry about for tomorrow. What kind of landmarks should we be looking for as we're traveling? Kind of the better natural bluff or something to kind of make our camp around to something defensible, block the wind, or what are you thinking?
There's plenty of snow around us that if we needed to, we could probably dig down. We could make natural divot in the snow that we could use. However, we could also We could also hopefully find maybe some rocks or a good, nice cluster of trees. I mean, we're just going to have to see once it gets, starts to get dark on the surroundings that we have, and see if we can potentially utilize that to the best of our ability.
I'm gonna turn to the group. Zahir and Serden are still like standing around.
Or they have not said that they got in yet. So
Yeah,
Right. Yeah. Well, in that case, I'm gonna turn to, just as long as everyone's here, I'm gonna turn to the group. Like, did anyone else, by chance, buy some sensor spikes?
I can't say I did. No.
Okay.
I did not.
No, I
Okay.
didn't.
Okay. Well, when we're out in the open, hope maybe we could put a place where we have our backs to something and the spikes can cover the rest. But I mean, we'll have to figure it out. I don't fancy the thought of putting our backs against a wall, but I guess, judging about where we are right now, we didn't do something too different.
As long
Yes.
as I
Me,
don't.
I could take first watch.
Oh, let's worry about. I don't know. I like to plan things ahead, but no point stressing about tomorrow till we're there.
If we take watch, Jared, is it not counted a long rest?
no, it'll offset. The hours will offset. Everyone gets a long rest. It's not
Yeah.
a big deal.
I was like, if nothing else, we can do 2-hour watches each, and then we can offset it, set the
10
times so that.
Yeah. I've tried doing the math. I don't know if it is what it is. You just
Yeah,
Y'all-
the
y'all
math
do-
do be mathing for
yeah,
sure.
the math will add up to where y'all will have your 8 hours. Just no worries.
Based on what we've encountered here, though, I don't think it'd hurt to stand guard.
If you want, I could set up my my tent up near the mouth of the cave, a little bit closer, so that way I'm always able to look out, or whoever's taking watch, if they want, they can come in there with me and at least be warm while keeping an eye out.
I mean, we could. I don't
Yeah.
think it'd hurt. It wouldn't be. It sounds like these wolves are kind of not the biggest thing we could encounter out here. So I figured staying wary wouldn't hurt.
Better stay safe than getting stabbed in our sleep by some creature. We do also have to. There was rumors of basilisk in the rooms, so we have to figure out how we are going to
yes.
deal with that.
Yeah, I've been thinking on that a
Basilisk.
bit. That's when I first heard you guys were talking with something that sounded like it was up high. My first thought was, oh shit, a basilisk. So we'll
I don't think I've.
Do you know much about them?
no, I just know they
Small
fly.
8-legged. What basilisks have you run into? I've run into small, 8-legged lizards.
I mean, I've killed a lot of flying shit that people call different names, but nothing like I don't think anything like a proper basilisk. Actually, Jared, would you say I would have interacted with one at one point or no?
Well, so a basilisk in actual D&D is what Logan's saying, where it is like it's like a small salamander, multi-leg creature that petrifies entities. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Are you-
a winged creature.
Are you thinking of a
yeah.
wyvern? Because a wyvern is like the kind of
Yeah, but-
two-winged
yeah.
big bitch.
No, I'm thinking of something similar, but I know basilisks in some media are also winged lizard.
Right.
But yeah,
Indeed.
you're
Yeah.
Koala
indeed.
is what you're looking for. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know what
Koala.
he's talking about. Yeah.
Fucking koalas and fucking Warhammer 3 Total War are big flying lizards that call lightning for free, and they're bullshit in your army.
Whoa.
Someone drop-
Here goes
Just
Logan.
Oh yeah, Morello just desynced.
Oh, maybe he's back.
I just hit my desk so hard with my chair disconnecting me from this.
Oh shit.
What the?
He said boom. He just annihilated that shit.
I know I'm on a roof and I have a steady connection.
Yeah, you have probably the best connection.
Hell yeah.
But yes, just for the clarification, yeah, you're probably just confusing it with something else from a different genre.
Sure. No, for sure. Especially when it's just like, oh shit, I heard about basilisks. They're in the trees.
They're in the trees.
Which I think honestly that might be fair for Bearden. He might have
Yeah.
heard different things to confuse the information. So
100%. That's why I was just like, hey man, yes, I did.
I was like, I've probably seen them because they sit in a lot of ruins, and I've done a lot of ruin delving.
Is that something that you voiced to the group that they're in ruins?
That's just some general knowledge I know, and most of my backstory is me diving through ruins, so...
Gotcha, okay.
Because that's where I got a lot of my ancient giant stuff.
You mentioned these basilisks. Do you know anything more about them?
I don't know anything more about them. I just know what they look like because the sketches of them were in some of the old giant books. But I don't know anything actually about them.
These creatures seem to have many tricks up their sleeves, judging by the ice breath that these wolves could summon. These definitely not something you encounter every day.
I can't find the photo of the other creature I'm looking for. Yes, I wonder if they have something similar to that. It seems like everything on this trail has some sort of elemental affinity to itself, so maybe something similar to that. But again, I do not know much about them. I've only ever seen a few drawings and heard about them in passing when we talked to a few people in town.
At this point, Axel will kind of chime in and be like, well, I do know one thing is that their most notorious feature that they do carry in their arsenal is the fact that they can turn creatures to stone. And that is actually one of the primary ways that they apparently like to feast. They like to petrify their target, and then they like to consume it via rock. And they like to kind of crunch it up in their mouth and consume it that way. It's kind of strange, but that is what they...
You'd think they just eat rocks.
Like
yes,
real
exactly.
Huh.
Yeah, like turns the creature completely to stone. As far as it's called petrification, as far as I understand.
Maybe there's something to that. Maybe that's a seasoning someone could use.
I was about to say it's like a taste. They like the texture of the stone, the taste of the creature.
Yeah,
I've heard
like
of
vampires preferring virgin type thing. It's just like they like rock, but that's just a better tasting rock.
Again, man, you know a strange amount about vampires.
No, it just happens to come up.
You keep mentioning these vampires.
Yeah, yes. Have you ever seen a vampire? Since we're talking about creatures,
I mean, like Jared, I would like to have I maybe interacted or seen vampires?
Yeah, sure, man.
Fuck yeah. In that case, no.
Yeah,
No,
buddy.
no. I mean, like, there's vampires out and about. Like, you run into them when you travel. But...
Inside check.
No,
Make an
I'm
insight
saying,
check.
Oh, sure, yeah. I don't know if I'm trying to necessarily deceive or.
Hey, roll whatever you want to roll and add your modifier.
Well,
Yeah. He's never seen a vampire. That's all I'm gonna say. You don't even need to roll. He's never seen a vampire.
No, what I'm saying is I'm not trying to convince you I haven't. I'm just saying, like, oh, they're around. You run into them. Like I'm saying, I've seen them. Just being like,
Yeah.
chill about it.
I mean, you can interpret it however you want. So if you're just like, yeah, he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about.
I'm like, why does he keep? You know what? I'm not even gonna push it anymore. It's not that important. I'm just gonna leave. Yes. Well, on the topic of grabbing some rest while we are talking about our plans for tomorrow too, I think I'm going to start calling it an early night.
Seems fair.
Probably not a bad idea. Do we?
I will say that
wanna
we don't necessarily have to be up super early. We'll probably go ahead and get up actually at daybreak or a little bit after, considering that we're not going to make it through the ruins tomorrow at all, no matter how hard we push ourselves. So we can just get up and we can have the daylight. And we can more than likely make camp tomorrow just before sundown, so that we kind of have that security. Today was kind of a little bit riskier because we could actually make it to the cave, and I mean we did, and it worked out. So I mean, I'll take it.
Sure. So you don't have a spot planned for this leg of the journey where to stop? Just wherever we find a good spot. We're halfway through till the ruins.
Essentially, yes. I mean, the only couple landmarks I have is going to be this cave, is going to be the ruins, and then it's going to be the boat sheds down near the west side of the lake as we make our way over there.
All right. Well, all right. Trust your judgment there. I guess. Yeah. I'll go ahead and try to recork that bottle of wine, whatever's left of it, as I make my way over. And I guess as I make my way over, I'm gonna go ahead and set up my tent. If anyone who wants to do watch wants to come on in, just let me know, and I'll let you in.
Sounds good to me.
Good, think I'll join you.
Sure, yeah. It'll just be a couple moments here. As,
Yeah,
I guess I'll go towards.
Take a,
I'll have my
Take a
wolf
couple
lay
hours.
down by the entrance.
Okay,
take
that's
a
good.
couple hours. Who should I wake? Who should I wake when?
You can wake me up when you're ready to get some sleep. I can
Very
take
well.
second watch.
Sure, sounds good to me. And I'll begin casting tiny hut towards the mouth of the cave.
Do you want it to be not on the exterior, right? You want it to be like at the mouth, kind of with the actual opening, kind of still covering you, but you're at like the dead front of it, right?
Like far enough that like if you're outside of my my tiny hut, you're gonna be like outside of any warmth of the fire or the hot spring, kind of thing.
Okay.
I'm going to the bathroom
Yeah,
real quick.
but like also like yeah, I'm still gonna want to be physically inside the cave, but like kind of out there, like a little outpost almost.
Sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Easy enough as you go ahead and do your casting for that, as you kind of lay out the various kind of pieces that you need, as you kind of start to draw into the space that you need to occupy this hut, as the duration of time goes by, as your hut kind of forms and kind of solidifies with that limo tint that you were saying, as it almost has like this like kind of like misty kind of black sheen across it, kind of kind of what you were talking about earlier, how you cast your spells and the visuals that they create.
Yeah. For sure.
All right.
Sure.
So, and then you
Yeah.
allow Sir Dendrick to enter in?
Yeah. As I kind of just walk through like kind of that kind of dome I've created. I'll make a mental note. I guess I'll make so it's allowed for everyone in the party to enter. Has Axoff offered to do any watch?
Yeah, he said you'll do watch.
Sure, it's not accessible to everyone.
Okay, sounds good. And then with that, Sir Dendrick, you'll be up first. So if you want to go ahead and make a perception check with disadvantage.
Disadvantage? Why?
Because
Looking
it's dark
out in the
outside.
snow.
And yeah, you're looking out in the snow.
That shit. Oh, I'm gonna roll this dice.
I'm just gonna be sitting behind him, just like,
Disadvantage.
meditating and twitching.
Disadvantage.
Seem to be rolling very low in perception. It'd be a shame if somebody wasn't perceived.
Not for
6?
us. We're safe in
A
our hut.
damn shame.
Say, what was it?
6.
Yeah, so your watch for the next couple hours, you kind of are just looking around, listening, kind of getting a little sleepy, but you do manage to stay awake for the whole duration, but you don't seem to discern anything crazy.
Wait, am I
and-
in the hood or no?
You're in the hut, yeah. If you want to be.
Do you mind if I play a tune, Reardon?
Yeah. Do what you want to do. I'm just trying to focus up a little bit here, but I don't think music's gonna interrupt me.
I brought my instrument with me. I figured not doing much.
Sure. Yeah. No problem. And I think my
Alright,
meditation is like kind of me like sitting in fetal position and like nervously twitching.
Okay. You're like,
Well, I get up and I go to my mule. I search through my saddlebags and I pull out my loot.
okay.
Not the gold I found. My instrument.
Sounds good.
Nice. And
As you pull out your loot and you go ahead and make your way back into the hut, make a performance check as you play it.
Can you hear, bro?
Can what?
Performance?
Make a performance check.
Playing it from YouTube, dude. Can you hear it or no?
It's kind of cutting out.
Yeah, if you put
Performance
it-
check.
If you put it
Yeah.
next to your mic, maybe.
Performance. Very low.
That's probably why I can't hear it, because it's just coming in and out. It's staticky.
There's a tear
Charisma,
walking down my eye, hearing him
8.
shred.
Yeah. You say it's not going to interrupt you, Virden, but that shit sucks.
Nice.
Well,
I'm
please excuse me. I haven't played in quite a while. I mean,
Todd, your mic is up here, so if you want it to play, you're probably gonna have to like. I mean, if you're playing it off YouTube,
Yeah, I think hearing him like
still-
kind of
still no,
struggling with the
You
loot.
can hear it?
No.
No,
Play it
nothing
in
at
your
all.
mind, dude. All right.
okay.
I am playing it. It
Oh, man,
sounds
this is
like
a
Well,
banger.
I'll play it for me, bro. All right, hold on.
Play it for
hold
you,
on.
man.
Just, Connor, search up Elder Scrolls Online loot music and play it for yourself.
Yeah, you know what I'm not doing right now is my phone's in my pocket. It's doing that. But I think I'm hearing him kind of like struggling a little bit, or at least
Anyway,
finding
I'm
the
kinda-
chance and such. And
I'm kinda
honestly, it's like,
tuning.
there's nothing to be ashamed about. My grandkids are learning to play instruments and such, so it's gonna you kind of find your
funny.
tune.
All right, well, I'm kind of tuning it a little bit. Can I roll? Can I roll again?
You can roll it one more time at the end, since it's like towards the end of your watch.
I'm determined. All right,
I heard
well,
a single note.
sucks for you.
It's a 6. D9.
Oh,
Oh.
not in this hut, you're not.
Queen held is nigh. Anyway, this is not copyrighted music, in case anyone is wondering.
Not
I
that
was.
they can hear
I
it
was
anyway.
scared. You literally told
It's
us what the music
poppy.
was.
I said Elder Scrolls, I meant
Melder
Smelder
rolls.
Smell the rolls. But your watch does come to an end, uneventful, as you shittily play
Oh,
your
can I
loot
roll?
and you're kind of
No, I
half
wanted
embarrassed.
to
Yeah, I
do
said
it.
you can roll. I said you can roll.
Okay.
It's a that one.
Ooh, much better. 15. No, 16.
Hey, hey.
So throughout your shift, you managed to
Start
tune
fucking
it.
shredding.
You managed to tune the end of it. And you managed to start. You start fucking shredding that shit.
Cool. At least it's better.
Yeah, and as you
I
kind
didn't
of
sleep
shred the last couple of notes, and you're kind of like, well, that's my watch, and you kind of just stand up and head back to your tent.
I take it
I
you
will
wake me up
sleep.
on your way.
I do sleep in my armor. I do not take it off.
If you sleep in your armor, you will take a point of exhaustion.
The fuck?
Yeah, that's not happening. You cannot sleep in full plate
Fine,
armor.
hold on, bro. Bro, you just lay down, bro. You just playing. It's not that hard.
No,
Bro,
no.
you can't say you've never slept in kit.
Yeah, and you can't tell me you slept well in Kit. So,
Bro, it's insulated, bro. It's squishy. It's comfy, bro.
bro, you take
It's
off.
warm.
I mean, like it's like you can
25-pound plate mail that you're wearing. You're like, this is comfortable,
minute.
dude.
on a
I
rock,
guess,
dude.
yeah, I'll take it off, dude. I don't take it off. Bro, I ain't scared. I ain't scared of no thing.
Yeah, you're not scared. All right. Speaking of not being scared, I will say, as Sir Denrick, after like about 20-30 seconds goes by, Sir Denrick has departed the the dome towards the like sides and the back kind of portion of your neck, Virden. You start to feel like the soft kind of glow and kind of the warmth emitting from that portion of your neck. At which point you kind of have an understanding as to the indication as to what is going to probably start transpiring here. It takes a second for the runes themselves to kind of like illuminate and fully charge. So you figure you probably have another minute or so before communication is fully established.
And okay, I think at that point, can I choose at this point to privatize my tiny hut?
I'm pretty sure you can, unless
I think I can choose, but I wanted to make sure. Extra limo tent.
That illegal take, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, that illegal tint.
yeah. I mean,
creatures
yeah,
and objects within the dome, when you cast this spell, can move through it freely. All other creatures.
So Sir Denver couldn't even have been in there. Well, no, Sir Denver could have been. No one else can be. Okay.
Yeah, because
He
whoever.
was there when I cast it.
Yeah, so I guess that so whoever was within it. So yeah, you can just say that he was there.
You say I include.
Yeah.
Sir Denver, but no one else could. So at least I know I'll be private in here. I think with
Yeah.
that though, I'll remove my cloak and such, and kind of like expose more of my tattoos and such. Kind of just like, just like properly let this facilitate to do what it needs to do.
Sounds good. As you kind of free up the space a little bit, kind of getting yourself kind of in a more comfortable situation for this. I will say, as another like kind of half minute goes by, Morello, what are you doing? So Denrick woke you up.
I'm gonna once he wakes me up, I'm gonna start just putting back on my scale mail and my armor.
Okay.
And then I will kind of restoke the fire to get it warm again, light my pipe and step out of the front of the cave and just kind of peer out and see what's going on.
Okay, so I will say that doing all of that will kind of take a duration of time. So, if Connor, if you would like to follow me to the secrets,
I did. Hold on.
Oh, my
This is important. I
You out of
did play.
stress,
I did play a tune at the fire before I woke him up.
okay, all right, let's. Connor, you ready?
Empowered.
Is it secrets, not secrets with friends?
Yeah, secrets, just secrets.
Alright, I'll pop over.
All right. Oh, there you go. I can hear you now. One second. I need to pop this out. I need to close that out. I need to now go to the stream itself. I need to go to sidebars and... Oh, yeah. There we go. It's all setty spaghetti.
I like it.
Cool. All right, so let me go ahead and pull up my notes here. So you're kind of you kind of doff your cloak, you kind of get yourself a little more comfortable, you kind of get out of your meditating position, and you kind of sit in a more kind of comfortable, kind of neutral position as the runes kind of continue to kind of just continue to emanate almost amidst like kind of low kind of hum. At which point you can finally hear kind of, Virden, are you there? This voice is familiar to you. It is going to be of the individual named Thazaval Nishek. Thazaval
Nishek.
Yeah, he is a sorcerer that is also in the employ of Bloodgram.
Gotcha. So I was like, Thazaval, yep, I am here. I am making my way to Snowstone. How are you?
I am fine. You say you're making your way to Snowstone. Were there complications?
There were, yes. Instead of taking me to Snowstone, it took me to this smaller town, Brimtoll Hold. So I'm making my way across the Frost Trail now with a band of travel. Don't worry, we're in a private space right now, but yeah, I'm making my way over to Snowstone as quickly as I can.
I'm assuming that, it is always complicated to be sending people across the plains to areas unfamiliar.
And you know that this is the individual that sent you, so he's kind of trying to play it off.
Yeah. No. I'm sure, miscasting somebody to a plane of existence unfamiliar to them is in no way problematic for Bloodgram.
Yeah, I'm sure. I will probably impart this knowledge not on him, considering the fact that he's obviously dealing with many other things. However, how have you found any information as to where you can find the ice dexonite?
Yes, Snowstone, the mines within Snowstone, it seems one of my traveling companions have spent, at least alluded to spending some time in those mines, and I plan on pressing them further as we close the distance. Also, I located this ring recently. I'm not sure if it's ice denonite or not, but at least it's something with cold resistance, which might have been imbued idenonite. So as I'm closing the distance to where we're supposed to be getting to, it seems at least all signs are pointing towards finding deposits there.
Was this ring that you found, was it of blue and kind of white nature or material?
It certainly was, yes. That's what tipped me off.
Interesting, yes. That's probably ice dexonite for sure. How large is this ring?
I'm gonna hold up. How large is this?
It's probably a little bit larger than the average size ring.
Yeah, so I'll say it's quite small for the quantities we need. It's a standard ring that fits comfortably on a finger, so a bit bigger than my wedding band.
Well, at least that you're going in the right direction, considering that you've already kind of encountered this material. I was half expecting this lead to be false or faulty, but I am thankful to hear that that is not the case.
Yeah, at least one of us could accomplish our side of the job correctly. I mean, no hard feelings, but
All right, Virden, why don't you watch yourself?
You're gonna. All I'm saying is, hey, things happen on the job. When I get back home, you owe me. That's all I'm saying. As far as you and I are concerned, it stays between us.
That sounds good to me. I don't need Bloodgram breathing down my neck more than he already is. So.
I mean, dude, tell me about it. It's I think if you tell me, we found at least a hint of the Senate, and I'm closing my way to a promising source that should at least give you some breathing room there, boys.
Yes, I have a feeling that if you are successful on your venture, that we might be rid of Bloodgram, hopefully earlier than later, and we can finally get the rewards that he's been promising us for years.
I mean, yeah, no, certainly. I think, yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens there, but I'm trying to, I don't know. Sorry, it's I don't know. I'm over it. I didn't know Snowstone was gonna be this cold. Like I knew it was gonna be cold, but man, I'm still getting used to it out here. I'm out here in the field. Pardon me, I'm still trying to get used to what's going on out here.
I mean,
it's cold as hell.
Yeah, I mean, I've gone to my fair share of inhospitable, whatever, places. You know what I mean. That word has always tripped me up. But anyway, anywho, yeah, field work is always, depending on the place you go, not desirable. However, it sounds like you said that you've made a group of companions that are joining you for this venture, at least trekking.
Yeah. Some people that ever run into any trouble, we got some meat between me and the problem, and maybe some people, depending on the situation, I can convince to knowingly or unknowingly help me out getting what I need. So
excellent. Well, though it might have been unfortunate circumstance that led you to Grimtoll, at least you have made ends meet and are making your way there. I have a feeling. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, you know what I'm gonna ask for though in return, right? For fucking up this little misfire here. You know what I'm gonna ask for?
What do you want?
You know what I mean. You know what I'm gonna ask for, man. You've done it before. Want another free shot when I choose, as long as I choose. Send me back to the Feywild.
Yeah. I can't be continually doing that. Not at least while Bloodgram's still around. Maybe we can discuss something a little bit more permanent in the future.
I know. But hey, I'm just saying, keep it in the back of your mind. We can figure something out when we need to. I'm not worried about it. And we can always make up a reason, make up an artifact we're looking for. But you owe me.
Virden.
We're being honest. You botched this.
I did, yes. The timeline is obviously going to be more skewed, but I will tell Bloodgram that things. I will find excuses.
Going okay.
Yeah, I will find.
Can I send him any representation of the ring I have in some way through this connection?
There would be no way to send that now.
Okay. Then in that case, I'll just communicate with words. Just like I got a deposit about how much would you say this weighs?
I would say like a quarter to maybe half a pound.
Yeah, so I'll give him this is about the weight of snow denonite or ice denonite.
Ice dexonite.
Ice dexonite, right? I got about a quarter, maybe a half pound of ice dexonite here in my hand. We're on the right trail. I'm closing my way to a deposit. I think, regardless of everything you got going on upstairs there, we're on the right trail, and we got evidence in my hand right now.
Yes, I'll be sure to communicate everything to Bloodgram. And Virden, you obviously know through the many years we've worked together that I'm good for it. And so, if to alleviate this blunder from meeting or reaching the counter of Bloodgram, I will fulfill this bargain.
Alright, you know what? I know you're good for it. No need to shake on it. Consider I'm going to the Feywild. I think it's best if we don't shake on and make a contract out of anything. So,
Absolutely. I think that is probably for the best.
Probably for the best, man. But hey, things going all right over there?
For the most part, I know that the couple of the other individuals that we sent out in order to recover the last couple components that we need for Bloodgrim's ritual. So far, I've reached out to them, at least a couple of them, and they are being bountiful in their findings.
Good. Then hopefully, we're not skewing the measuring here. We're gonna get this done.
I can only hope, but it seems as, and you can kind of feel at this point like the runes are starting to fade. It seems that our time at this point has come to a close. Best of luck to you, Bearded.
Right. Best of luck. You take it easy out there.
Farewell.
As the runes kind of dissipate out.
All right.
Is there anything you'd like to do at this moment?
No, I think I'll I'm comfortable with all I didn't plan on doffing my armor or like taking my robes off, but like since I'm comfortable with it, I think I'll just take this time and kind of meditate in the space I'm at.
Sounds good. And since no one else, since Sir Denrick was the only person that was in there, you will not be interrupted anymore. In theory.
Hell yeah. And then also, just so you know, I need to disconnect for a minute. I'll be back.
Sounds good. So I'll just say you're meditating in your thing, and I'll jump back to those guys.
No problem. See you
All
soon.
right, goodbye. All right, now we need to jump back over to the other chat. And
I mean, dude, I thought it was a player, dude. That was when
Yeah,
I was like, oh.
all right, boys.
Wow.
All right, and we are back, or I am back at least.
What did you do with him?
What did you do with our friend?
Stuff him in the closet
stuffed him in
of
the
secrets.
furnace.
Bro, hey, did you have the stream up? Did you see it?
Back in the cave.
I didn't know.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I'll send a photo of what it looks like. Hold on, I'm gonna send a photo to the. I'll send a photo.
It's the double spotlights. It looks good. Also,
Shoved
Yeah.
Connor in the hole.
I gotta be 1 sec. If I'm right here, I'm still framed in my frame.
Oh, you're trying to line up. Yeah. Pardon our frames. We have Connor. He's out, so all our frames are gonna be. Oh no.
Oh man.
Hey, nice. Sir Denrick is just your wall of art and. Nice.
But
My Warhammer minis.
did Connor have to get off?
No, he said
in my spot, and I'm in.
he said you had.
in Connor's spot.
He said you had to jump out just for a second. He will be back though.
Oh, okay.
Oh, dude, I thought something crazy was happening. That's unfortunate.
He went into the secret chat and he got shivved.
Yeah, he got murdered instantly. All right. So with that, Morello, you kind of don your armor. You're kind of tending to the fire, making sure that it stays, relatively lit. The ambers are still kind of licking away at some of the, some wood as you make your way out and you're smoking a pipe. Go to make a perception check with disadvantage.
Stop rolling this dice because it rolled me one really good roll when I was testing them, and then it's rolled shit since then. I hate it here, bro. I hate it here. It's a 7. I haven't rolled higher than a 10 all session, bro.
He said, "I fucking hate it here, man."
Bro,
What
get better. Get better at rolling dice.
You said so. Sorry. What was it?
It was a 7, dude. I should have cast guidance on myself.
A strong 7. So with that, you go out there, you're smoking your pipe, you're kind of just thinking to yourself, you're like half paying attention, like you catch yourself multiple times, like not like dozing off, but like staring down and like zoning, and then you're like, oh shit, and like you're listening around, and then like a couple times you just catch yourself zoning out. But I mean, while you're out there kind of smoking, during your couple hours, nothing seems to, like, you hear probably like similar to when you guys were traveling along the frost trail earlier this day. Like you hear like the kind of the of like snow falling from like the trees and hitting the ground, of like the distant kind of thuds. But while you're out there, you do notice that the snow is starting to kind of let up. It's probably about like maybe halved of what it was, the consistent falling. It's kind of halved that, as you can, the snowflakes are now a little bit more distanced and a little bit less heavy as they're kind of falling, but still snowing lightly.
While I'm out there and I'm kind of by myself, I would like to try and talk to
Your mom.
Mother.
not my
My mom,
mother.
dude.
Yeah, talking to my mom.
Oh, well, boy. Let's see. I can find my patrons. Not my patron.
I'm not helping you. I'm not helping you.
I know.
Find their number.
Yeah, no, sis.
Also, I also posted all
Dial
like
911.
Can I try and talk to the caring Aaliyah, the caring lady?
yes. Go ahead and make a religion check.
Shit, this guy, bro.
Religion check. What do I got in religion? A plus
-1.
zero.
Oh.
No. Only in dexterity do I have a -1. Ooh, a 13. It's actually not bad.
I mean, with a +0, it isn't bad. So as you kind of take a second while you're out there on watch, and you kind of just start to think and kind of close your eyes, still like listening through, your auditorially. What would you like to say?
I would just like to wish for a good travel and for you to watch over us and to help keep my magic strong so I can bring these fine gentlemen to our destination safely.
Okay.
And that's all. I'm just kind of asking for like a little blessing of protection
Okay.
along your way through.
You get a +1 to your next roll.
Yeah. So as you're kind of sitting there, you kind of say this silent. I'm assuming like you kind of like whispering or saying it within your head, this silent prayer. You kind of all of a sudden like kind of randomly get kind of goosebumps like along your skin, and kind of like as like the goosebumps kind of like it almost feels like the goosebumps start from like the exterior portions of your body and kind of like as like this feeling kind of shifts across your body and eventually kind of makes its way to your chest. And when it makes its way to your chest, you kind of have like this warm kind of sensation, which is contrary to how cold it is outside, obviously. And though no words are said, you kind of have this affirmation.
Oh yeah, and then I'm gonna just kind of for the last little bit of my shift of watch, kind of just hang out, look up at the stars, and look around, and make my way back in, and wake up. I don't remember who said they were taking third watch.
I
Axel
don't
said
know if
it.
anyone.
Good.
Oh,
Axel.
Axel will. But as you actually look up, kind of one last time, you do see that contrary to the earlier that day with a cloudy kind of overcast day, you do start to see kind of little kind of like pockets of like small like onesies and twosies of little star kind of clusters as the snow is starting to kind of slow down. You can kind of see that the sky overhead is starting to kind of clear out just a little bit, and some of the moon is starting to kind of break through just a bit.
Yeah, under his breath, he's gonna be like, well, thank you for at least giving me one more day on this gorgeous planet. And he kind of nods and walks in.
All right, and you go to wake up Axel as he's kind of in his smaller kind of 1.5 person tent. As you kind of wake him up, he's oh, my turn already. God damn it.
Yes, it's not too busy of a night, so hopefully it stays quiet for you and it keeps pretty safe.
We can only hope.
Bro,
If
this
you
is
need
literally
anything, come grab me and you can wake me up before anyone else if it's nothing of too much concern. And then I will
Literally me when I'm sleeping.
go
it was cold as fuck on JBLM last weekend.
back in, take off my armor and start heading to sleep.
Sounds good. He takes his watch, and then Zahir, as you get roused from your slumber, hey, Zahir, it is time for your watch.
Excellent. And I will begin gathering all of my materials.
All right, so you got. Good.
Scrounging all my stuff up together. And then, yeah, I will go outside as well. And is it a clear night?
As you look up, it is not necessarily a clear night, but it is kind of patchy. Kind of similar to what Morello saw. But at this point, the snow is about all but stopped, and it is definitely more clear than it is kind of cloudy. You can see large kind of portions of the stars kind of illuminating the moon piercing through. Which kind of with you knowing constellations and kind of always, generally looking upwards in the heavens and stuff and kind of reading a lot of that, you kind of get the... Actually, make a nature check for me. With advantage.
Nature.
With advantage.
Nature, uh-oh.
With advantage.
Okay, that still doesn't mean it's very good. It's a 13.
Say the 13, at the very least, you can make a pretty positive assumption that tomorrow is probably going to be a pretty clear day, more than likely, or at least, at least clearer than it has been the last couple days.
Alright, that's probably worse. Because it's definitely going to be colder.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, while I'm studying the stars, I'll just do roll for my wheel and woe for tomorrow.
Okay.
And it is, I believe, woe again.
Sounds good. And it's like early in the morning, so technically, yeah, it still works for this day.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and make your perception check with disadvantage.
Disadvantage. That's suboptimal. 12.
Okay. Similar to the other shifts, it goes uneventful. As you go and I mean, based off of what Virden was saying, that you could just like enter into the dome, you go up to the dome and it like there's resistance and it doesn't let you in.
Fuck you.
What is your passive perception, Virden?
Higher than what I rolled.
My passive perception.
Oh,
I believe
his.
it's-
Never mind.
Let me go back to it real quick. I had it open.
I mean, I probably would just like stay
14.
just at the mouth of the cave the whole time staring.
14.
There we go.
Well, no, I'm talking about like you do your whole watch, and as you go to like enter into the thing to get Virden, who's on the last on watch, that's when the resistance of the dome kind of triggers.
Well, I only sleep for 4 hours, so I'd be either up or about up at this point, anyways.
Right, and at which point you kind of hear like the tapping of something, which you can see of Zahir kind of trying to enter into the dome.
Okay, I see his big dumb fuck face.
Yeah, and I'm just like
knowing he can't see shit.
Man's like,
Let me in.
Can I drop it? Will you allow me to drop this to make
The
it
monkey's
transparent
like-
so he can see me at least nodding at him and letting him know I'm awake?
I would say you can't drop the X. Let's see. Let me see what this spell says.
Stick your arm out and give him a
Because I
thumbs
think
up.
it is initially you can establish the color, but I don't think there's anything in the wording that let you change it mid like
The
while it's
dome.
running.
The dome is opaque from the outside of any color you choose.
Mhm.
So you can't choose it to be like see through per
A new
se.
color.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, in that case, I'll fucking I'll just start watching. I'm sure Zahir will get it. Actually, shit, I have a ring ascending. I will send him a message.
Sounds good.
I'll fucking finger gun him and just let him know, like, hey, I'm awake. I got this. Go ahead, get some rest.
will do.
Just trying to find ways to
Mentally-
communicate to someone with another
mentally
ring on my
responds.
finger. Yeah. And then also, during my long rest, I of course would like to attune to that new ring.
Yes, and you easily do. Go ahead and also make a perception
Sure.
check for me.
Sure. Does Baldur get to help me with this?
Yes. So
Alright,
make
let's
it straight.
yeah,
And
this guy
it's-
gets the ring of
it's-
frost resistance.
No one
Making
took it
straight
from him.
is a 14.
14. The rolls were suboptimal for this night. However, I will say that actually twice throughout the night you did get pings at the you got pings on your sensor stakes at the at the 100 feet mark of the sensor stake kind of area. However,
Mhm.
those pings were at the farthest distance and they never made their way closer.
And if say one of those things happened, I sent Balder out to go kind of investigate what might I have found.
Yeah, and it was always just animals. Like you saw, like just animals kind
okay.
of and just kind of scurrying around. It was never anything of significant like threat.
Sure, sweet. All right. Then yeah, I think with that I'll just enjoy. I guess I have the advantage of having, I guess, the last shift was so we kind of watch the morning somewhat begin.
Yep.
I'll do that. I'll
So
kind of enjoy the day breaking.
Yeah. So, are you gonna stay within the dome?
Yeah, I'll stay with it. It lasts 8 hours, so I'll stay with it till it kind of ends or the camp's being stirred behind me.
Yeah. So I would say, with you in your shift, you're kind of listening out, and you're kind of using Balder out there to kind of assist you. Nothing of note kind of occurs outside. However, as you're kind of warging in Balder and you're kind of flying through the kind of canopies and just checking the immediate area, you do start to see the distant sunrise off in the east. Just like kind of start to crest over, at which point it is very vibrant considering the last couple days have been very kind of dark and kind of mellow and kind of gloomy. Today is a near cloudless sky. You can already kind of see at this point in the morning as you see the bright kind of oranges and yellows of the sunrise kind of shooting across the kind of like the tops of the distant mountain ranges, and kind of hitting the canopies of the frost trail kind of woodland area at this point as you're kind of soaring through the air.
Cool. In that case, I'll take re-doffing my armor, my cloak, just checking all my personal gear, making sure I'm good. I'll still keeping one eye out, but just making sure like I'm ready for the day, as I see it's now approaching, certainly ready for us.
And there you go. Yeah, and I'd say at like probably a little bit after that, your dome does eventually kind of drop, kind of almost in tandem with you getting finally situated and kind of like standing up, ready to go. It kind of just dissipates. At which point you go ahead and rouse the rest of your group, kind of as daybreak, and then you can now see like the sun is starting to shoot across, and it's now starting to rise in the sky as the sun starts to kind of cast shadows kind of in front of the cave mouth, and kind of those vibrant kind of oranges and yellows kind of breaking through.
Gotcha.
As the sun crests above the canopy, or however it's happening right now, the dire wolf that I had summoned slowly just fades out of existence.
Yeah,
I told the dead. No.
Yeah, it almost like it's like almost like theatrically picks its head up and kind of just like takes a deep breath, and then like you only see this, but as it kind of like it's just like kind of turns to like almost like ash and just kind of dissipates and just reforms back into and just kind of flurries off. Ass.
Yeah, he turns into straight ass.
Fucking same.
But as you guys all rouse from your slumber, unless there's anything specifically you want to do, you guys all go ahead and take another half days of rations for both you and your animals, as you are now eating for the morning.
I think the only thing I'm going to try to do is, again, try my luck getting Balder and Kafkin more familiar.
Go ahead and make another animal handling check.
Yeah, I'll hang out with Benny too and like double check how Benny's doing before we get on the road for the day.
So 17 on the
Why is
die. Let me
breakfast
see if
so
there's
good?
any bonus that I have in this. 18.
Nicely done. And yeah, as you're kind of getting them a little more accustomed to each other, it is successful. Kind of you kind of let the high what's the word? The high blood pressure of Cav can kind of mellow out throughout the evening, and now he's kind of reset for this morning, and it goes pretty well. You guys are kind of all just interacting this morning. What did you roll, Morello?
I haven't rolled yet.
Yeah, go ahead and roll animal handling for me.
Then that'll be with advantage.
Okay.
Because I have my rune active. Well, not active. It just my rune exists. So.
You fucker.
That's a 15.
Yep. You just go up to him. You kind of the runes as you're kind of like loving up on him and kind of like petting him and kind of just like talking to him this morning. Like it's almost like when you're interacting with him, like the runes on your body almost start to kind of like glow like a little bit and almost just like emanate this like almost like soothing kind of pulse. Anything else to do?
Yeah, I'll
guess-
like wake up my ox or whatever and feed him.
Okay, sounds good. Do you want to roll animal handling?
Steward. I mean,
I was gonna say,
am
Steve.
I doing anything in particular? That I need to-
No, yeah. If you're no, you're good. If you're just feeding him, hanging out, you're chilling.
Yeah. Yeah, like I was trying to make an effort to make sure I'm bonding with.
Yeah,
him.
yeah. If you're not like
Getting
making an
food,
effort, then you're
yeah.
fine.
I'm-
So,
Not trying to fucking mount shame here, but if you're not making an effort, it's fine.
Are you shaming me? Bro, I'll make an effort, dude.
all right, go ahead and roll animal handling for
Yeah,
hero.
I at least wanted to make sure like Benny was all right. That was my effort, man.
Yeah, dude, you gotta make sure Kenny's good.
yeah.
Shit, dude. 7.
For whatever
Slightly different.
reason this morning, Hero is just not really having it. He's kind of got a temperament, kind of got a little sass to him. Yeah, kind of slept on the wrong side of the rock this morning, and so he's not very in tune to the same pacing that you know the relationship you were having with him the last couple of days. So got a little bit of an obstacle to surmount later on, but yes, I mean, not super negative, but not very positive.
You got a toddler.
I kind of pat him a little bit. I'm like, they're there. The wolves are all slain.
The helmet.
We have a long journey ahead of us. It'd be best if head out on the right foot.
He kind of like shakes his head, like kind of like gruffs out like a little bit. It's like an acceptance.
I'll give him extra rations.
Okay.
Oh shit.
But as you guys are all kind of, what's up?
Do I get reroll?
No, no. You kind of set the pace for the day as Axov is kind of getting his ox all ready to go.
What's he roll?
He's not gonna roll animal handling. He's just kind of tending to him, and he's just ready to go.
Make an effort.
So I will say, it is almost pushing 11. So do we want to continue and kind of get along the trail, or do we want to just kind of call it and start kind of fresh off on the trail next session?
I'll defer to you guys.
Let's start fresh off on the trail because it would give us something to we have a nice ending point here of us making our second day's worth of journey, I think.
Okay, sounds good.
Well,
Because knowing us, we're gonna get up to some shit and we're gonna be here for another 4 hours, man.
I think
Which I was down with, by the way, but yeah.
I think that's probably for the best.
Which is I'd like to continue.
While I will
with,
play D&D until 2 in the morning, man,
And it is the only it's 11 here for me. If it was 9, I'd be like, let's just fucking send it. But I'm already fighting the clock. But I will say, to kind of wrap this up, you guys are all kind of do your little morning rituals, get all of the oxen all saddled up and kind of ready to go. As you all mount up. What is the marching order going into this again? Same thing as last time?
I don't see why.
I'll take the lead.
Okay.
Being the most perceptive.
So
I'll stay in the back, being the most willing to get absolutely walled by something that I don't see.
okay.
Fair enough.
So
I'm good right in the middle, baby.
all right. So as you all kind of in the same marching order, kind of exit the cave. As you guys came up to the actual the cave mouth yesterday evening or yesterday night, I guess. You guys kind of following the similar. The tracks that you made coming up to the cave have been slightly filled in, but not by much. As you all kind of as your mounts kind of sloshing through the deep snow, making your way back to the actual path itself. Today is a clear sky. Like I said, 1 or 2 clouds kind of scattered amongst the blue sky itself. However, as you're making your way back towards the path itself, wind is cutting through occasionally, and there's definitely a moderate wind today. And with the clouds not kind of keeping the heat insulated down below, it is definitely going to be a colder day today, and it's definitely going to be interesting as you guys finally, after making that same 1,000-ish feet back to the actual path, you guys veer to the east once again. And Axov kind of calls up. He's like, well, I mean, I think that honestly so far so good. So I hope that our fortune goes ahead and holds out for the next couple of days. And hopefully, he kind of chuckles. Who am I kidding? It's only going to get weirder from here. as you guys kind of
Wow.
start to make your way.
Exciting.
And I think,
Hell yeah.
yeah, with that, I say we'll go ahead and end tonight. Yeah, I don't want to be up till 1 in the morning, even though I would do it.
I was like, I do absolutely want to play more D&D.
Hey,
I
Nick,
also.
Boom.
I'm not gonna lie, we've been deprived lately. So
What about
Yeah.
what about scheduling it if we have like a Friday where everyone's available?
And so actually, that's something that I did want to talk about for scheduling. So if we want to, we can kind of talk in the chat and see. I know Logan, you already have your day off on Thursday, but so
After next week, I'll also have Fridays off.
okay,
So that actually does work if we want it. So I swapped my schedule around for a few
Yeah.
things. So, but I will have Friday off starting, not this upcoming week, but the following week.
Pretty
Okay.
sure I don't have any finals on Friday, and then next quarter I don't have classes on Friday.
okay, yeah, I wouldn't mind adjusting. The main reason why, and we can discuss a lot of this stuff off stream, but I will go ahead and I'll go and wrap this up. So yeah.
I mean, even if I work on Saturday, I'll just stay up till 11. I don't give a shit.
yeah.
Hey,
We also
I-
start like earlier too.
it's all that
I'll wait till
matters.
stream ends. I'll wait till stream ends.
But yeah, so go and wrap this up. So hey, appreciate y'all for watching. We will go ahead and continue this next Thursday. At the very least, we will do probably one more Thursday, and then we might adjust our schedule. But obviously, I'll have that reflect on the actual Twitch channel. So just look for that, and you'll be updated as to what we're gonna do. But appreciate y'all for tuning in. Hope you all have a wonderful night, and we'll catch you next time. Peace out.
All right.
Yeah.